Thursday Night Lights here at Phelps Field. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us here tonight for Westside versus Millard South. I am Max Coughlin. Alongside me tonight is Ross Jernstrom. Ross, it is a very windy night here tonight, but you can't ask for a much better night than this.
Well, I'll tell you what, this afternoon the wind was gusting up 25 to 30 miles per hour, but it has really died down here at Phelps Field. It's about 15 miles per hour, and it's kind of a crosswind coming from the west, northwest, and it's coming across towards us here on the east side of the stadium. But it's going to be a good night for football. The temperature's in the low 50s, so I think we'll be okay.
So we're getting into the KB pregame show here. We're going to take a look at the top 10 in Class A as of October 10th here, and not a lot has changed here. Gretna and Elkhorn South are still at number one and 2 spot, and they are the only two teams in Class A who are still undefeated in Class A.
Well, Westside, after that loss to North Platte, dropped down to number 4. But I tell you what, what's most important is not the top 10, but it's the wild card standings. And Westside stands at number 2 right now after that loss, and that's where you want to be, 1 and 2. And with just a few weeks left here in the regular season, that's a good place to be for Westside.
Taking a look at the rest of the top 10, Omaha North, who is a team that has really been put on the spotlight this year, and they take on probably one of their hardest opponents next week in Elkhorn South, and that really dictates where Westside stands going into the playoffs, as if Elkhorn South wins that game, then they most likely have the shot of bumping up to number 2 and Westside going down to number 3. But if Omaha North can win that game, then Westside stands in that pretty good number 2 spot.
We're all cheered for the Vikings because the Vikings, their competition that they have faced, they've only faced one team with a winning record, so that's why they are so far down in the wild card standings. And so we're gonna cheer for them because Elkhorn South is undefeated.
So then Westside's at number 4. They've been number 4 for the last 2 weeks after taking an upset loss to North Platte. And then at number 5 is Creighton Prep, who's bumped up from number 6 last week. And there's Bellevue West, who was at number 8 last week, and now they have bumped up to number 6. There's Grand Island, number 7. Kearney, who just lost to Westside 42-14 in a wild two-site game, you can call it. I heard you say that before. It was a two-site game. One first I'd say 3/4 of the game being at Westside and the last fourth being at Patriots of South. So it was a very odd game, and all you viewers who are watching right now who did watch last week, you can agree with me and Ross that it was probably something that we may not ever see again.
Yeah, it was a bizarre game. I've covered high school football for over 40 years, and I never saw anything like it. Usually games have been delayed because of lightning or something like that, but I've never seen anything like that where a game has been moved to another location. But kudos to the Westside administration, Papillion La Vista South, who moved that game down to the Titan Field, and they got it done in one night, and they pulled it off.
And I want to shout out the rest of the WTV Live crew for they shut off the lights, and I had to travel all the way out to Patriots South to tweet the game, but you stayed here with the entire WTV Live crew and to help clean up everything, and they turned off the lights on you guys, and I feel so bad because you guys had to use your iPhone flashlights.
We used our iPhones. It was pitch black here at Phelps Field, but we managed to get everything back into the school, but it was a bizarre night. I'll never forget it.
So we're going to take a look at now the key player of last week's game, and by far it was Anthony Rizak. Anthony Rizak, 5 total touchdowns on the night, 3 of those being rushing touchdowns. He was 11 for 17, 188 passing yards, and 143 rushing yards. He was lights out.
I'll tell you what, Anthony Rizak is really having quite a junior season. Right now, he ranks 4th in the state in total offense in 222 yards a game. He does it with his legs. He does it with his arm. He's 9th in Class A in passing, 72 of 114 passes for over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. He's only thrown 2 interceptions, but on the ground, get this, 522 yards. I mean, he is having an amazing season.
Well, Ross, if you listened to the 100-yard walk with Max yesterday, you did find out a lot of new things about Anthony Rizak. One of those being his favorite color is purple, and another one being I asked him the question. He's a dual-threat quarterback, so does he like to run the ball or throw the ball more? And I asked him, and his answer was he likes to run the ball more, which as a quarterback, you're probably never really going to get that answer, but from Anthony Rizak and the stats he just read off, we can clearly see that running the ball is his favorite.
He's had a lot of success this year, and that's why he's so dangerous and so hard to defend against opponents.
So now we're going to take a look at where Westside stands in the wild card points, and you already mentioned it right now. Westside currently in that number 2 spot, and this whole entire week I've been doing some mathematical things in my head on where Westside will lie up next week as we travel to Lincoln Northeast, who currently is dead last in the wild card points with their record of being 0-7. And Millard South, this game would help Westside in quite a bit, but it really, you take a look at Elkhorn South, which you already mentioned. We're going to be Vikings fan next week, and that is 100% honesty.
Yeah, we want Omaha North to knock off Elkhorn South because that would give us the Westside a better chance of getting the number 2 spot in the wild card standings, because Elkhorn South, if they beat Omaha North, will likely jump over Westside, and they currently are number 3 right now, and they're undefeated, folks. But Omaha North is one of those teams. They lost their first game of the year against Bellevue West, but then they have rallied to win the rest of their games. And although their competition hasn't been very strong, they're still winning all their games. So Omaha North is going to be Elkhorn South next week. That's going to be a great game of the week.
And Ross, I need to mention this game one more time before we head off into our break. It is a quarterback battle today. We have to mention Camden Coughlin, who has been lights out here on the football field and on the baseball diamond. And he's been on the baseball diamond all summer and spring long, and now he was with the under-18 USA baseball team, and they won the gold medal.
Yeah, Max, you know him because you play on Westside's baseball team, and you faced him in the batter's box as a pitcher. He is just one of the best athletes in the state. He was the Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year on the diamond last year. He batted .422, but he's a great shortstop, and to make the U.S. national team for 18 and under just shows you what a great athlete he is. But I'll tell you what, as a quarterback, he is undefeated for Millard South. He played in their season opener, then he left for 3 weeks to go down to Florida, and since he's come back, they've won 3 more games in a row, so he's won all 4 of their wins. He's been the quarterback. But he's gonna put on a show tonight. He runs the ball. He likes to pass. He's just like Anthony Rizak. He's a dual threat. He's only 5'8", but he's got that desire. He's just a great athlete, and he completes 63% of his passes, 240 yards a game he has. So he is one of those players that, with total offense, he's just as good as Anthony Rizak.
And not to mention, he's a Vanderbilt pledge
yes.
for baseball, and Vanderbilt, one of the top teams in the country for as many years as I can remember for baseball. So he will be going to Vanderbilt next year, not as a football player, but as a baseball player.
Yeah, but he is the quarterback of this team. He makes it go. He is their leader, and just one of the great athletes in the state of Nebraska.
A few names to watch out for tonight who are probably Camden Coughl's favorite targets are by far the best one is Austin Trotter. He is one of their top wide receivers, probably their top wide receiver, if not one of them. Some other names we're going to look out for tonight is Amari Jackson. That is their other wide receiver, who right now both of them are averaging over 80 yards per game in receiving yards. So those two are going to be some lookout names, and especially for Westside, they have to lock them down.
Yeah, Trotter's the guy to watch out. He has 20 receptions, 379 yards. He's already caught 4 touchdown passes, and Lance Rucker, their big tight end, he's caught 4 touchdown passes, 27 receptions for 349 yards. So they've got a couple receivers that Coughlin can go to, but there are some players on defense. One guy to watch, Adam Pugh, number 2 in the state in sacks. He's got 5 this year. So they've got some athletes on this team for Millard South. This is no easy win for the Warriors tonight. This is going to be a test.
Last thing before we head off to our break. I know I said it last time, but I got to mention this. It's a battle of the special teams also. I'll talk about Millard South first. Their kicker and punter, same person, is committed to Kansas State, Simon McClanning. He is one of the best place kickers and punters in Class A, and he's really shown it this year so far.
Well, it's going to be a great matchup. We got the 2 guys who have the most field goals in the state with 7, Simon McClanahan from Millard South, and of course Tristan Alvano from Westside, and he has 7 field goals, and he's already got a 53-yarder school record for Westside this year. But you know, Tristan also is such a great kickoff person. He has 38 touchbacks so far this season. So we're going to see some great special teams tonight.
We can call it the Battle of the 5 stars, as they are both ranked 5 stars from Cole's kicking camp. So it's going to be a very big battle on the special teams tonight. So we're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we'll have senior night action here and coverage following. We will have the traditional walkout and then kickoff. So we're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we'll have more Westside football action.
2022 Warrior Band staff is Director of Bands Tommy Kruger, Assistant Director of Bands Keith Schoening, Percussion Instructors Danny Belt, Ryan Coughlin, Morgan Herrera, Color Guard Instructors Sammy Unick, Mary Grace Kuri, Kennedy Summerher, Middle School Band Tim Rieshling, Elementary School Band Mike Freeman and Gail Carpenter Johnson, and our Music Opera Secretary, none other than Mrs. Jennifer Kaufman. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are able, please stand as our Westside Warrior Bands, conducted by drum majors LaDamie Davies, Michaela Manna, and Colin Worthington, perform our national anthem.
Hi, sweetheart.
Now please remain standing and sing along as the band performs Fight On Westside. The Westside Band program would like to thank all of our fans.
Back here at Phelps Field for a Thursday night battle against Westside versus Millard South. I am Max Coughlin. Alongside me tonight is Ross Jernstrom. Ross, we are about 8 minutes and 30 seconds away from the players getting onto the field, and cheerleaders are lining up for the walkout, and I can feel football in the air. It's not a Friday. It's the first Thursday night game and the only Thursday night game we'll have here at Phelps Field this year, but it is a great night for football.
Yeah, it is, and we got a great matchup tonight against Millard South. And Millard South, they've always had a great team. You got to remember a year ago, they were ranked #1 in the state all season long until the playoffs, and they were upset by Omaha North. And Andy Means was the longtime coach for the Patriots, and now the head coach is Ty Wisdom, an assistant who's been moved up to the head coaching job. And he won his first game against Millard West 38-14, but then the Patriots lost their next 3 games against Elkhorn South, Millard North, and top-ranked Gretna. And when they played Gretna, they put up 26 points, but Gretna rolled up 49 in that game. But over the last 3 weeks, with Coughlin back at quarterback, they've beaten Lincoln North Star, they've beaten Lincoln East, and they've also defeated Columbus. So they've won 3 games in a row. They come in here on a win streak, and they're playing very well. They've got some confidence behind them. So this Patriot team's going to be ready tonight.
And I want to mention Gretna. They have so far this year have been unstoppable. A solid 7-0, along with Elkhorn South, both 2 undefeated in Class A, the only 2 undefeated in Class A. So right now, Gretna is holding that #1 spot, leading Westside in the wildcard points by 2 points. They have 47 points. Westside is at 45 points.
Yeah, and Millard South can put up some points. Let me tell you, in just the last 3 weeks, they put up 49 points against Lincoln North Star. They put up 22 against Lincoln East, and then 49 against Columbus, and they put up 38 against Millard West in their season opener. So this is a team with an explosive offense, and it's all led by Cam Coughlin, who can do it all out there on the field. And he's going to be fun to watch tonight to see what he can do. And, you know, I always look back at that North Platte game, what Westside's defense, how did they lose that game? And it was because North Platte ran the ball so much. And I look for Millard South to try to do that tonight. It's not the strength of their team, but I think Coughlin, he's going to take advantage of that and try to run the ball as much as he can.
So we'll get into our pregame, or to our keys of the game here, just before players start coming out onto the field. We'll start with Millard South here. One of their keys of the game is I put at #1 is they have to be able to score in the red zone. That has been one of their toughest challenges this year. They'll get inside the 20-yard line, and then they either have a 3 and out, and then they go to their kicker, Simon McClannon, or they just end up turning the ball over. So that is going to be a big thing here tonight for Millard South and the entire offense. If they have to find a way to score in the red zone, or else Westside will take key advantage of that and just start putting points up.
Oh, I think we're going to see a lot of points tonight, and both teams can put it in the end zone, and I think they don't want to settle for field goals. They want to put some points, touchdowns, 6 points on the board.
And so we'll go to Westside now. Westside's keys to the game is they have to be on that running game, and a lot of it comes from that offensive line. We saw last week when we were at Westside and then we were at Patriots South. Offensive line, it was the best they have looked all year long. They have made so many holes for John Ross and Anthony Rizak to run in, and that is exactly why both of those players, Anthony Rizak and John Ross, were our Time 42 player of the games last week because they just ran the ball so well, and it was all contributed by the offensive line.
Well, I think that's what has been the strength of Westside so far. They've probably got some rushing, and that offensive line has found some holes, but Rizak just creates so many problems when he scrambles loose and when he rolls out on an option to either the right or the left. And even when he goes back to pass, he can scramble. But Jamez Ross, he gives you that, you know, he really slices through that line, can find the holes, and you know, that's one of the strengths of this Westside team that they can do.
Another big thing here for both teams is you got to be able to pass the ball well tonight, especially in wind conditions like this. But you take a look at the flags right now, Ross, wind's kind of died down, which is a good thing.
I know. When we came into the stadium late this afternoon, we had to tape everything down up here above the home stand because the wind was blowing so much, folks, that some of our equipment was blowing down. but and it was 25 to 30 miles an hour, but it has really died down here at Phelps Field. The flags are almost motionless right now, and that has changed a lot from earlier this afternoon.
And that can be a key factor for both teams, as Anthony Rizek is looking to pass the ball to many receivers, Jalen Lloyd, Keenan Cotton, and even Teddy Rizek, his brother. And then on the other side, Cam Coulter, he's got to look to pass the ball. They can't just run the ball tonight. That's not the only thing they can do, because you talk about Westside linebackers like Bo Ryan, Christian Jones, and Nick Anglem. They have been in the backfield as many times as I can remember in these past games, and they are going to be a big threat to this Millard South offense.
You know, and when they rush the quarterback, they got to be careful when they do that. But here come the Warriors.
Ross, the song comes on. It's the Warrior song, and then Thunderstruck starts playing by AC/DC, and that's how you know it's game time here at Phelps Field. And I got to mention, it's senior night tonight. That's what you saw on your screen just before we came back on. It was the seniors being introduced to the field, as well as their parents. And here comes the Warriors. There's a good sideline shot down on the field. And here they come. It'll be led by Anthony Rizak and Jamez Ross. Westside coming into this game 6-1, looking to extend their record to 7-1, going into just one more week of the regular season, as they plan to go out to Lincoln Northeast next week and take on the Rockets for the final regular season game of the season.
Well, this is a big game for the Warriors tonight. A team that has really kind of played them tough through the years. It's Millard South. Andy Means always had his team ready to come here to Westside to play, and they've got some fans over there and some students on the opponent's side, on the west side of the field, and this Patriot team win over Westside tonight would give them a huge boost in their district standings and put them up there on the field. And the Patriots enter the field right now. They'll be in their white jerseys and blue pants. Of course, Westside, thank goodness, Max, they're not in that black jerseys that we can never tell what number they have when they have those red numbers and black jerseys. But they'll be in red and black tonight. So, but I love those helmets. They went back to the black ones this week.
I really wish they stayed with the red ones, because those are probably my favorites now of all time. Those red helmets with the original Westside logo on the side of the helmets. But they are back to their traditional jerseys, black helmets, red jerseys, black pants. And Millard South, you just mentioned, Ross, white jerseys, red helmets, and navy blue pants. And here we go. It'll be Millard South to receive. Westside deferred to the second half. And five-star kicker Tristan Alvano, we mentioned earlier in the pregame show, it is a battle of the five stars on the special team side tonight. Tristan Alvano is the five-star place kicker here for the Warriors. And then on the other side from Millard South, it is Simon McClannon, who is committed to the University of Kansas State.
Tristan Alvano already has 38 touchbacks this season. He is one of the best kickers, not only in the state but in the country. And he has gotten a lot of scholarship offers from around the country. He's made a lot of recruiting trips, but Tristan Alvano's having a great senior year, a returning all-state player from the Omaha World Herald's all-state team from a year ago. And there is really no wind right now, just a slight breeze, and it's coming from the Warriors' back, just a slight breeze, but it will not be a factor in this game right now.
It'll be Turner Tupper and Gavin Nunley back to return here for Millard South, as we are now just seconds away here from kickoff. And Westside is ready and Millard South is ready, and Tristan Alvano is starting to run to the ball, and we are off here at Phelps Field for a Thursday night contest, and that'll be a touchback to put Millard South on their own 20-yard line to start this one off.
Touchback number 39 for Tristan Alvano. He's really had a tremendous season. We haven't seen too many run backs by opposing teams because He's just done such a terrific job. But here comes Cam Coughlin at quarterback for Millard South. Watch him, ladies and gentlemen. He's a special player for the Patriots.
They'll start out with one receiver to the far side, none to the near side. Nolan Feller will be in the backfield along with Cam Coughlin. Coughlin gets a snap. He'll take it for himself. He'll roll out to his left, and he is stopped in the backfield, but he'll break a tackling. There he goes. There's number 18. That's Brock Murtaugh. He'll be brought down around the 45-yard line. What a start for Millard South here.
Well, that's a great start. He broke away. It looked like it was going to be a sack, but he is so elusive back there and such a great runner. He made the play and found a receiver downfield. Just a great start for Millard South.
Big-time reception there to now put the Patriots past midfield as they are now on Westside's 46-yard line. Here's Coughlin, gets a snap. He'll hand it off to Nolan Feller. Feller will get brought right down on the line of scrimmage.
Good stop by the Warriors in that interior line. You want to get off to a good start in the trenches to see, which team can really win that battle up front.
So it'll be a loss of a yard here, and it'll be on 2nd and 11 on Westside's 46-yard line. One receiver to the far side, none on the near side. Here's a snap. He'll hand it off to Nolan Feller. Feller tries to break a tackle. He'll get brought down. He's still pushing, but he'll get knocked down around the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Feller comes into this game, 78 carries, 486 yards. He averages over 6 yards a carry, so he can make some yardage, and he has scored 5 touchdowns this season. Nolan Feller, good running back.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 here for the Patriots as they are creeping their way now into the red zone. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Coughlin in the backfield all by himself, and it'll be a timeout on Millard South. Looks like.
Well, the clock was running down. They didn't want the 5-yard penalty, so they called a timeout. But I think they were trying to find out what Westside was going to do.
So we're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more Westside football action.
Back. We got to go.
Back here at Phelps Field, I'm Max Coughlin. Alongside me tonight is Ross Jernstrom. It'll be 3rd and 2 here for the Patriots as they took a quick timeout to regroup themselves. And here's a snap. Coughlin drops back to pass. He'll find Brock Murtaugh. Brock Murtaugh will take it to the right side. He'll get brought down, but it'll be good for a first down, and that'll move the chains.
That was a nice play. They executed it very well. Murtaugh out to the near side of the field. Coughlin got it to him, and he had plenty of blockers, picked up the first down by a good 3 yards.
So 1st and 10 here for Cam Coughlin. He'll be all alone in the backfield with 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Coughlin takes a snap, throws it over to Brock Murtaugh once again. And he'll be brought down just around the 35-yard line.
Great pursuit by the Warriors. They really pursued the receiver once he got the ball. Lots of good tackling by the Warriors, and that'll bring up, it was a matter of fact, it was a loss of a yard on that play.
So it'll be 2nd and 11 here. As the Westside defense doing their best to hold down the powerful offense of Millard South. Coughlin in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap, drops back to pass, tries to find a receiver. He'll go deep, and it'll be blocked up. The pass is incomplete. It was intended for number 35, Grant Rankin, and it was broken up by number 15, Ty Kiefer, the safety.
Ty Kiefer did a nice job out there breaking up the pass. Looked like it was going to be caught, but he got his hands in there and got the ball away. So good defense by the Warriors right there to stop the play.
3rd and 11 here for the Patriots as Westside defense, like I mentioned just a play ago, doing their best to hold them right here on the 35-yard line. Kozel drops back, tries to find an open receiver. He'll throw it deep. And it is caught. That's number 8. Number 9, Amari Jackson. And he'll be brought down just on the 1-yard line. What a reception there for Amari Jackson.
Jackson got by 2 defenders out there. Westside had it covered, but he showed some good speed and got open down there right along the flag near the goal line.
Kozel to Jackson, and they'll be on now the 1-yard line, and Kozel's under center here. He'll take it for himself for a quarterback keep. They're pushing him way into the end zone, and we'll have to see what they call, and it'll be a touchdown for the Patriots here. First points on the board go to the Patriots.
Great drive by the Patriots. They drive 80 yards downfield. They eat up about 4 minutes on the clock. Just a really impressive drive to start the game for Millard South.
Here's the extra point for Simon McClannon. And the kick is good, so it'll be 7-0 here with 8:59 remaining. Westside will take their first drive when we come back from a quick break. Back here at Westside High School, I'm Max Coughlin. Alongside me tonight is Ross Jernstrom. Ross, a quick score there from Millard South. It went from Kozel to Amari Jackson, and Kozel took it for himself on the 1-yard line to put the Patriots up first, and it is 7-0 here with 8:59 remaining.
We knew this was going to be a tough test for the Warriors, and we found out on that opening drive by Millard South. They go 80 yards in about 10 plays. They mixed it up really well, but a big pass down to the one was the one that paid off.
It'll be Jalen Lloyd, Kurt Kubrich, and Keenan Kahn back to return the kickoff. The kick from McClannon will be all the way back into the end zone for another touchback. And Ross, I mentioned the pregame show, 2 of the best kickers in the state facing off tonight, so we may not see a lot of kick returns.
Okay, right now we got to watch this Millard South defense, and one player to watch for them is their defensive end, Adam Pugh. He's got 5 sacks on the year. Look out for him. He is a dangerous player for Millard South, but he's one of those players that can make a difference out there, so watch him.
Here comes the Westside offense led by quarterback Anthony Rizak. Two receivers will be to the far side, one to the near side. Here's a snap. He'll hand it off to Jamez Ross. Ross will take it to the left side. He'll get brought down just around the 24-yard line.
Warriors just kind of testing it out there in the trenches, just seeing how this offensive line might go against this Millard South defense. And Millard South, I mean, you just look at them. They passed the test. They got some big bodies up front.
2nd and 6 here for Westside. Rizak in the shotgun formation along with Jamez Ross to his right. He'll take the snap, drops back to pass for himself. There goes Anthony Rizak. He'll take it for himself, and he'll get brought down at the 25-yard line, so maybe a gain of 1.
You know, Millard South was looking for that. They kind of held back and didn't, rush the quarterback too much, and they got a feeling that Anthony will scramble it loose if he can't find a receiver open. So smart play by Millard South's defense.
And that's the biggest thing here for Millard South defense is you have to understand that both running back and quarterback run the ball very good. So you have to understand that if Anthony Rizak drops back to pass, there's a 50-50 shot that he may not be even throwing the ball. And we just saw that right there, and they played that exactly how it was supposed to be done. There's Anthony Rizak. He'll throw it to Jalen Lloyd. Big-time reception there for the first down. And that'll move the chains here for the offense as they are now on the 37-yard line.
Nice pass by Anthony Rizak. He finds Jalen Lloyd. Last week, the two connected for an 85-yard touchdown. But, you know, I noticed Millard South had 2 defenders on Jalen Lloyd. He is such a dangerous receiver.
1st and 10 here on the 36-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Rizak in the backfield along with Jamez Ross. Ross takes the handoff. He'll get stopped right at the line of scrimmage for maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, the west side offensive line is not moving that Millard South defensive interior. As a matter of fact, there have been no holes there for west side in this game so far on this drive. They've really plugged up all the holes.
So far, the only thing that has worked for Westside is throwing the ball to Jalen Lloyd, and you never know, right here on 2nd and 10, they may go to a pass play. Rizak in the backfield along with 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Rizak will drop back to pass. He'll throw it deep to Jalen Lloyd. There's Jalen Lloyd, tries to get in. There's a pass interference call. Incomplete pass, but there is a flag on the play, most likely to be a pass interference call on the Patriots. And
yeah, the defender for Millard South never looked back at the ball. He was on Jalen Lloyd the whole time, and Lloyd never had a chance to go for the ball because he had blocked his way. But no, they're going to call it from here. Here we go. They're going to mark it off. It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
And that helps out Westside tremendously. And the penalty was on Gavin Nunley, the cornerback who is faced up against Jalen Lloyd, one of the fastest players in the state. It'll be 1st and 10 now here for the Warriors. Rizak in the shotgun formation once again. He gets a snaps. He'll hand it off. No, he'll keep it for himself. There goes Anthony Rizak. Anthony Rizak has a hole. He'll get brought down just around the 25-yard line, and what a run there for the quarterback.
20-yard run by Anthony Rizak. That's what he did last week against Kearney. He just finds that hole, and just a bolt of lightning through that hole, and he goes 20 yards for a first down to the 27.
1st and 10 now here for Westside. Rizak gets a snap. He'll take it for himself once again. He'll go up the middle. Rizak will get a gain of around 3. And once again, big time run there for Anthony Rizak as he is just moving the chains, trying to get as much yards as he can on anything he can get.
That Westside offensive line is starting to show some push now against that Millard South interior line. They've got 2 runs back-to-back where they pushed it up forward.
Westside now on Millard South's 25-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 7. Rizak gets a snap. It'll be an option play to Dawson Hardick. And he'll have no room to run as a host of Millard South Patriots will push him back possibly around 6 yards. And that was a big-time stop there for Millard South. It was led by Brock Murtaugh, Grant Rankin, and a lot more Patriots.
Yeah, Millard South really snuffed that one out very well. They knew it was coming, and they defended it very well, and that's a loss of about 3 yards on the plays, brings up 3rd and 9.
That play went from Anthony Rizak to Kurt Kubrich, pitched it off to Dawson Hardick, and just nothing there for the Warriors as it is now 3rd and 9 here for Westside. 2 receivers to the near side, 3 to the far side here for Anthony Rizak, all alone in the backfield. He'll drop back to pass. Anthony Rizak will take it for himself, and he'll be sacked. Anthony Rizak sacked to make it 4th down.
And now they have to wonder, will they punt the ball or will they kick it? And it looks like the kicking team is coming out there, Tristan Alvano, and this one will be a 46-yard field goal attempt, maybe 47 yards, but he's kicked 7 this season so far, so Tristan Alvano will try to get us on the board.
These long field goals are nothing new to Tristan Alvano. As you mentioned, Ross, he has the school record for field goals, and the kick is off for Tristan Alvano, and that one is far, and it is no good.
It was to the right, just missed it, but he had plenty of leg on that one. But the Warriors come away with nothing on that drive, but they did move the ball about 50 yards, but it's still 7-0.
Field goal shy right for the Warriors, and that is where Millard South will take over on their own 20-yard line here. And here comes Millard South offense out once again for their second drive of the game as they scored on their first one. Coach will be in the shotgun formation with 3 receivers to the near side. Kozel gets a snap. He'll hand it off to Nolan Feller, and he'll be stopped. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage by the defensive line of Westside, and not a lot of gain there for Millard South.
Good stop by the Warriors right there. They got a good push up there by that defensive front. Good job by the Warriors. Brings up now 2nd down and 8.
2nd and 8 here for Millard South, who are now on their 21-yard line. Kozel gets a snap. He'll roll out to his left. He'll pitch it off to Nolan Feller. Feller might have a hole, and he'll get brought down by Teddy Rizak and around the 33-yard line. And not a bad option play there for Kozel to Feller. And there'll be a referee down on the field.
Oh my gosh, he got decked. We have an official down on the field, and he's gotten back up.
And Ross, you just hate to see that because all these players are running as hard as they can, and they don't really look out for the referees as they are running as hard as they can, trying to get a tackle, and you just hate to see that, and I hope he is okay.
Yeah, we hope he can continue out there on the field, but sometimes when these players, they run full blast, and sometimes they don't see the official, and he just got decked right there about the 30-yard line, but he's going to continue to be out there on the field.
Round of applause there for the referee on the field.
Yeah, you never see that too much. A round of applause for the officials, but that's nice to see.
And we'll continue play here. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots as they had a very nice option play from Kozel to Feller, and it was good enough for a 1st down. Snaps off. He'll hand it off to Feller. Feller will take it to the right side. He'll use his blockers. He'll get brought down by Ty Kiefer.
Boy, Kiefer made a nice play right there. Just kind of shot through the blockers and was able to make the tackle, and he got his legs and about a 2-yard gain out of that, not much more.
2nd and 8 here for the Patriots. They're getting the play from head coach Ty Wisdom. 1 receiver to the near side, 3 to the far side. Feller in the backfield along with Kozel, the quarterback. Kozel draws back to pass. He'll try to find Brock Murtaugh. He goes deep. Brock Murtaugh over the head of Jalen Lloyd. And the pass is complete. What a throw by Cam Kozel.
And what a great catch by Murtaugh. He just leaped over the defender and caught the ball down there at the 36-yard line. And I'm telling you, Coughlin can just toss it. He's a shortstop on the diamond, and he can make the throws.
Big time reception there from Coughlin to Brock Murtaugh, and it'll be 1st and 10 now in Westside territory. Two receivers on the near side, 3 to the far side. Coughlin in the backfield all by himself. He takes a snap. Pressure there from linebacker Bo Ryan. Coughlin will take it for himself, and it'll be maybe not enough for a 1st down. Gain of 9 for sure.
You know, he's only 5'8", and he can scramble, and he's got some wheels on him, but Cam Coughlin, he's putting on a show tonight, folks. He can pass the ball, do really well.
It'll be 2nd and 1 here for the Patriots. That run not enough for a 1st down, but 1 yard to go here for Cam Coughlin. He'll hand it off to Nolan Feller. Feller will get the 1st down here for the Patriots, and that'll move the chains.
Nice effort there by Feller. Just tough, hard running by him. Kind of gave it a second effort right there to get the 1st down, but Millard South is rolling down here. They're at no problems for them on this offense.
Ross, you mentioned in the pregame show today there were going to be a lot of points scored today, and as of right now, Millard South is in total control.
Absolutely, and they're getting the plays from the sidelines, and they've got a lot of receivers out there right now for Millard South.
Coughlin drops back to pass. He'll try to find open receiver. He'll go deep, and it is caught. That's number 41, Gavin Nunley. Gavin Nunley will catch the ball and get brought down inside the 10-yard line, and once again, beautiful throw there from Cam Coughlin.
He just laid it in there right over the west side secondary and found that receiver open on the far side of the field.
Coughlin in the backfield all by himself. Looks like there'll be an audible called here as players are moving around the field. Millard South taking their time here getting the play, and there's a penalty now on the field.
Yeah, they substituted about 3 different times there on the field, and it'll be on Millard South.
Looks like it may be a legal substitution call, and that'll move Millard South back now. And it was a legal substitution, and so the ball will be now moved to the 12-yard line, as that is where Millard South will take place. And Ross, that took so much time for Cam Coughlin to get the play from the sideline and players moving in and out of the field, and you just can't do that. So now it'll be 1st down here for the Patriots. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. There's Cam Coughlin. He'll go to Grant Rankin, and it is broken up by Ty Kiefer once again. Kiefer doing a great job in the secondary, breaking up many passes, and that one would have been good for a touchdown, and what a job there for Ty Kiefer to break it up.
Yeah, Coughlin made another nice throw over there. Just great defense by the Warriors, but they'll bring up 2nd and long right here, and they're getting another play from the sidelines, taking their time, and that clock runs down really close for them.
It'll be 2nd and 12 here for the Patriots. Coughlin rolls out to his left. He'll pitch it off to Fuller, and Fuller will have not a bad run there, as it may not be enough for a 1st down, but they've ran that option play once. Now they ran it twice. First time it was good for a 1st down. Second time not enough, but they are creeping their way, Ross.
At Coughlin, it's like he's flipping the ball to the second baseman, that shortstop second baseman combination. He does a good job with that option kind of side throw that he does, but Coughlin moving this team downfield.
3rd and 6 here as Millard South is creeping their way into the end zone. It'll be a backwards pass to Gavin Nunley, and it'll be a trickery play. It'll be a touchdown. Trickery play for Millard South. And Ross, we don't see that a lot. That went from Cam Coughlin to Gavin Nunley all the way to number 46. That's Gus Gaddison.
Just pulled that out of the playbook. Just a nice play. Toss it to the running back, and the running back makes the throw and the touchdown.
Simon McClanahan out there for the PAT, and Ross, what a play there for Millard South. It is almost blocked. That's Keenan Cotton, almost broke it up, but the PAT is good, and it is now 14 Millard South, Westside 0. 46 seconds remain here in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more Westside football action. Back here at Phelps Field as Millard South currently cruising in this game after a trickery touchdown play. It went from Cam Colesville to Gavin Nunley all the way to Gus Gadsden for the touchdown. And Ross, we don't see those type of trick plays very much here in high school football, but nonetheless it worked out for Millard South.
Very impressive first quarter for Millard South, 14-0.
Here's the kick from Simon McClanahan, and it'll be in the end zone for a touchback, and Westside will take out on their own 20-yard line for their second drive of the game. Only second drive of the game, and there are 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter, so Westside offense has not really done a great job so far in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think Westside only had the ball for about 3 minutes of that first quarter, and there's only 46 seconds left right here in the first quarter, but Millard South just engineered 2 long drives, and they've done a great job so far in this game.
Here comes the Westside offense led by Anthony Rezak. There will be 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Rezak takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Jamez Ross. Ross will go up the middle. It'll be a gain of around 5 or 6 for Jamez Ross.
But Westside's showing some push up there on their offensive line. They did that at the end of their last drive, and if they can do that, they can have some success. They can move this ball downfield.
2nd and 3 here for the Warriors. Rezak will be in the shotgun formation. Jamez Ross to his right. Rezak hands it off to Jamez Ross, and he'll get stopped, and it may not be good for a first down as he may actually lose some yardage on that play.
Yeah, I think he did. Millard South just really plugged up that hole, and Ross didn't have anywhere to go. It's still about 3rd down and maybe a couple yards to go for this.
It'll be now 3rd and 3 here for the Warriors as there will be a timeout called. We're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more Westside football action. Back here at Westside for second quarter action. That first quarter, Ross was led all by Millard South as they scored 14 points and left Westside scoreless. As Westside now has the ball starting at the second quarter, and Ross, Westside right now is in somewhat of a trouble.
I'd say they've really got some ground to make up here because Millard South has come to play tonight. We've really found out, and we knew coming into this game that Cam Colesville does a great job as a quarterback for Millard South, and he's really showed it. He's made about 3 really good passes, and then they come up with a trick play to get the second touchdown of the game, but it's really been an impressive showing by the Patriots here tonight, and they've come in here for the upset.
Millard South coming into this game 4-3 after a big-time win last week on Thursday against Columbus at Buell Stadium. And right now, Ross,
you know, you have to wonder, Max, if Coughlin had played the whole season, what would this Millard South team be like?
Well, you have to understand that they played Gretna, and Gretna so far is one of the biggest powerhouses in Class A. So they are still currently undefeated, as now Westside trotting back out to the field. It'll be 3rd and 3 here for Westside and Anthony Rizak, as he'll be in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Dawson Hardick in motion. Rizak will take it for himself to the left side. Rizak will have a nice gain of, it'll be enough for a first down, and it looks like he'll be brought out of bounds just around the 34-yard line.
Just moving those chains, that's what you got to do, and Rizak did a nice job running it himself over there along the far sidelines, and now they've got it out to the 32-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 now for Westside, as they are hoping to score a touchdown here in the second quarter and tie this one all up at 14. John Mez Ross in the backfield, right by Anthony Rizak. He'll hand it off. John Mez Ross, not a bad run there, and he'll be brought down just around the 40-yard line. So
he got a great run right there up the middle for about 7 yards up to the 40-yard line, but he took some Patriot defenders with him and did a nice job just running up the middle.
2nd and 3 here for Westside. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Rizak will hand off to John Mez Ross once again. Ross will run all the way to the left side, and he'll get brought down by his neck, and that might be a horse collar. He got brought down by his neck, and if this penalty is on Millard South, it'll be big time for Westside, as it'll then be 3rd and maybe a loss of a yard.
Yeah, it is on Millard South, and here's the official call from the referee. And that'll move the ball up to about
47-yard line now. Into Patriot territory.
Rizak gets a snap. He'll drop back to pass. He'll try to find Jalen Lloyd. Jalen Lloyd gets the pass. It'll be caught, and he'll be brought down just around the 7-yard line. What a play there from Anthony Rizak to Jalen Lloyd. And Ross, that one will get you going there if you're on Westside.
Well, Jalen Lloyd, he's that guy that can find his way open with his speed, and he did that all the way down to inside the 10-yard line.
So now Westside will be on the 7-yard line here inside the red zone. Rizak in the shotgun formation. He'll get the snap. He'll drop back to pass. He'll find Jalen Lloyd once again. Lloyd will get definitely inside the 5. We'll have to see where they place him. 2 quick passes to Jalen Lloyd, one being a long gain, one being a short gain, but both of them being positive gains.
Well, they needed that big play from Lloyd. They got to use him. He is their big play receiver, but now they got a chance to put it in the end zone.
And here it is, Westside on the 2-yard line here. Rizak in the shotgun formation once again. He'll hand it off to John Mez. No, Anthony Rizak takes it for himself for the touchdown. Anthony Rizak, quarterback keep. Touchdown for the Warriors, and that's their first touchdown on the night.
Well, the Warriors needed that big time. Driving downfield after down 14-0 in the first quarter. They opened the second quarter with a nice drive and puts them on the scoreboard.
That'll be the first 6 points here for Westside. There's Tristan Alvano out to attempt the PAT. And the kick is good. And that is 7 points there for Westside. We're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. Millard South still leading here in the second quarter, 14-7. back here at Phelps Field, where the West Side put on their first 7 points of the game. It was led by Anthony Rizak. It started off with a big-time throw from Rizak to Jalen Lloyd, and then another pass to Jalen Lloyd to put them on their 2-yard line, and Rizak took it for himself to the right side, and it was good for a touchdown. And now Westside will be kicking off to Millard South. Gavin Nunley in the backfield to return for the Patriots. And the kick is off, and it'll be in the end zone for another touchback. Ross, we're on a streak of touchbacks here from both kickers. Now a streak of, I believe, 4 touchbacks.
Well, we've got the 2 best kickers in the state right here in McClanahan and Alvano. Both this season have 7 field goals each, and they've got a great leg, and you know, they're being recruited by some of the biggest schools in the country, and they've just great to see 2 players like this in a game like this.
Colge will be in the backfield all by himself. He'll motion Gavin Nunley to the right. Gavin Nunley takes the handoff, and he'll get brought down at the line of scrimmage by a host. And the ball is out, but it'll be ruled down on the ground before he fumbled it. And not a good play there from Gavin Nunley, as Westside was all over that one.
You know, the Westside defense has to come up with a stop sometime in this game against this Millard South offense. So far, they've pretty much ruled the roost and driven the ball downfield with ease, and Colgill has not had a lot of pressure, but the Westside defense has got to come up with a big stop at some point in this game.
Colgill once again in the backfield all by himself. And then there's Nolan Feller to option out to his left, and he'll hand it off to Feller. Feller will get a gain of around 5 there on the play.
That'll bring up 3rd down. Now, this is a key play right here. And what Kozel has done, he's gone to Murtaugh on these 3rd down situations. They've done a pass play to running back and tried to get the 1st down.
The Westside secondary has to understand that Millard South is not afraid to throw that long ball, as we've already seen it about 2 times here tonight. And Ty Kiefer has been on a few of those plays and broken them up, but nonetheless, Westside cannot be surprised by those throws. And here's Camden Colger rolling out. He'll do a quick pass to Grant Rankin. It'll be a one-handed catch, and he'll be stopped right on the line of scrimmage, but there'll be a flag in the backfield. That was Nick Anglem on the tackling. He went nowhere.
I looked at the official, and it looked like it might be a face mask or a personal foul, but I can't tell from here. Okay.
There was an illegal man downfield, and the pass was behind the line of scrimmage, so that'll push Millard South even farther back. And what a big-time stop there for Nick Anglem, the junior.
Well, they needed that. That's their first stop by this Westside defense, and it was on their first. They didn't get a 1st down, so that was important. But punting situation now.
It'll be Keenan Kahn back to return the punt from Simon McClannon. And he'll call a fair catch, and he'll drop it. He dropped the ball, and Millard South fell on it. It'll be Millard South ball. That's number 12, Trey Weaver, who recovered the ball. And oh my goodness, Ross, we do not see that a lot from Keenan Cotton, the transfer who came over from Papillion Vista, but that is just costly. That'll give Millard South amazing field position as they are now on the 37-yard line of Westside.
Yeah, that was a costly mistake by the Warriors, and after that big stop by the defense, and then they give the ball right back to Millard South on that play.
But you have to understand that Simon McClannon, he's as good as a punter as he is a kicker, and that punt, you never know how he can kick the ball, and it may got into Keenan Cotton's hands a little different. And there's Cam Kozel to Brock Murtaugh, almost intercepted by Jeremiah Truitt. It was broken up by Keenan Cotton.
Good job by the Warriors defending that pass. They had like 3 defenders back there in the secondary. They know about Murtaugh, and they know what a good receiver he is.
Just a costly play for Westside on that punt return, and it'll now be 2nd and 10 here for Millard South. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side. Nolan Feller in the backfield along with Cam Colesville, the quarterback. He gets a snap. He'll drop back to pass. He'll try to find an open receiver. He'll roll out to his left. Still tries to find an open receiver, and he does not. It'll be out of bounds, and that'll bring up third down here for Millard South as Westside now trying to hope to get another 3 and out.
Yeah, this is another big play. They did it earlier in this drive when they stopped him back on the 20-yard line. But after that botched punt return, now they've got a chance to stop him again on 3rd and 10.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 here for Millard South. Ross, you have to think. Millard South most likely will go to one of those pass plays that'll be most likely deep, as there's 3 receivers to the far side. Here we go. Cam Colesville will get sacked. He is sacked in the backfield by, that is JQ Oshlow. What a play there for Westside, as that pushes Millard South back by at least 9 yards. And Ross, there's that Westside defense coming in handy once again.
Well, that fumble by Cotton, it didn't cost the Warriors right there. They lost some field position, but that was another huge stop by this Westside defense. Back-to-back stops by them, and Millard South will punt it away.
That was John Quill Osler and RJ Eckhart on the sack, as the punt from Simon McClendon will end up around the 21-yard line, and that is now where Westside will take over after a botched punt return from Keenan Kahn, and then another 3 and out by a big-time sack. And here comes the offense once again, as they are still trailing 14-7 with 7:26 remaining here in the second quarter. Back here at Westside High School, I'm Max Coughlin. Alongside me tonight is Ross Jernstrom. Ross, a big-time sack there for Westside as they pushed Cam Colesville all the way back to around the 41-yard line, and that is where Simon McClendon had a punt. And now it is Westside ball on their own 21-yard line, and that is where Anthony Rizak will take over.
Well, they got a chance to tie up the game here. Let's see if they can do it.
Rizak gets a snap. He'll hand it off to Jamez Ross. Ross will get brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Maybe a gain of 1 for Jamez Ross, but most likely could be a holding call on the offense, and that ball may get brought back. And it looks like it is, as the offensive line is moving back, and just a costly penalty there once again for Westside. And Ross, I have to mention, last week Westside had 7 penalties for 74 yards in last week's game, so penalties so far this entire season have been a problem for Westside, as we are now just seeing it be a problem in this game.
Yeah, and if you're going to have a penalty, it's good to have it on first down so you can make up that ground.
It'll be 1st and 20 now here for Westside. 3 receivers to the near side. Rizak will take it for himself in the middle. There goes Anthony Rizak. He breaks the tackle. There goes Anthony Rizak. Anthony Rizak in the open. There he is to the 50, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 20. Anthony Rizak may go all the way, and he does. Touchdown, Anthony Rizak.
Amazing, 89 yards on the play. Anthony Rizak goes coast to coast here at Phelps Field for the touchdown. Boy, he showed some speed there.
What a run for Anthony Rizak. 89 yards to the house.
And boy, he broke into the secondary and he just separated from that Millard South secondary. Big play, and the Warriors are getting set to tie this game up.
Ross, I got to mention it again. We did the 100 yards with Max yesterday, and he mentioned, I said, do you like to run the ball more, or do you like to run the ball or pass the ball? Guess what his answer was?
Run the ball.
Run the ball, and we
You
just
bet.
saw exactly why it was run the ball.
What
and
a play.
The PAT is good from Tristan Alvano. We are all tied up here at Phelps Field. Westside 14, Millard South 14, 7:07 remains here in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. Back at Phelps Field after one of the best runs of the season so far, Ross. 89 yards to the house. Quarterback keep. Anthony Rizak ties this game up at 14 all. And now Tristan Alvano back for the kickoff.
And you have to remember that run was on 1st down and 20. And he just excelled on that play, just ran all the way down there, showed some great speed and broke away from those Millard South defenders. One best plays of the season by Anthony Rizak.
And that is why he is considered one of the top dual threat quarterbacks in the state, as he can show off his feet as he just did. And another touchback there for Tristan Alvano. That one went all the way close to the goalpost, and Millard South will take over on their own 20-yard line as the Westside defense comes out.
Well, the momentum was Millard South in that first quarter. 2 long drives of 80 yards downfield, take a 14-0 lead, but all of a sudden this game is tied back up and the momentum has shifted to the Warriors.
Here comes the Millard South offense led by Cam Coughlin, who is committed not to play football but to play baseball at the University of Vanderbilt. He'll be in the backfield all by himself. And then there's the option for Nolan Feller as well. He gets the snap. He'll hand it off to Feller. Feller will use the offensive line, but he'll get a gain of maybe around 2 or 3 on the play.
But Westside, on their last 2 series against Millard South, they've really plugged up all those holes, and they've put a lot of pressure on Coughlin, and they've been able to stop him and not allow any first downs here in the second quarter.
Millard South once again taking their time getting the call from head coach Ty Wisdom on the sideline, and it'll be Brock Murtaugh, the wide receiver, on the near side. 3 receivers to the far side. 2nd and 8 here for the Patriots. Coles on the backfield all by himself. He'll drop back to pass. He'll try to find open receiver, and he does. That's Amari Jackson with the complete catch, and
it's still not a first down, though.
Not a first down. It'll be 3rd and around 3. Not a bad reception there for Amari Jackson to move them closer to a first down, and we'll have to see what the Patriots do here. If it's either a run play, as not a lot of run plays have worked for them here tonight, but it's more so the pass plays that have really worked in their favor.
But Coughl's one of those players that can get you that first down. He's got good legs.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Here's Coughlin. Coughlin drops back to pass. He'll try to find an open receiver, and he does. The pass is complete, and that'll move the chains.
Just a nice short pass there along the sidelines. Nice, safe pass, and that'll give them their first down here of the second quarter for Millard South.
1st and 10 here now for the Patriots. Kozel hands it off to Feller. Feller will be brought down. He'll lose yardage. That's R.J. Eckhart on the tackle there, and Bo Ryan to push Feller all the way back behind the line of scrimmage.
Boy, just a nice stuffed play right there. No gain. As a matter of fact, they lose a yard on that. So brings up 2nd and long.
2nd and 11 now for the Patriots, as the Westside defensive line just halting any run play that Millard South throws at them. Coles in the backfield all by himself. He'll drop back to pass. He tries to find Brock Murtaugh. Brock Murtaugh lays out, and it'll be no good. No catch there for Brock Murtaugh as he does his best to lay out and try to grab that one in, but it'll bring up 3rd and 11 now for Millard South.
Yeah, the officials were right on that play, and they called it no completion, incomplete right there. And this will bring up another passing situation for Kozel, and maybe the Westside defense can come up again like they have earlier in this quarter.
3rd and 11 here after the incomplete pass. It looks like there may be a flag on the field all the way to the far side, and
no, they're just waiting for the call from the official.
There is a flag on the field. Illegal substitution once again. That's the 2nd time tonight that penalty was called on Millard South, and you just have to think, you got to change that, Ross. They get the plays every single time from the coaches. There has to be better communication from head coach Ty Wisdom to quarterback Cam Kozel, and that's the 2nd time tonight where they have lost yardage because of that. And once again, they are waiting for the play. Nolan Feller holding his hands up. He has no clue what the play is. And Ross, you have to think, that might not be the best way of communication
well,
from coach to team.
It worked in the 1st quarter for him.
Kozel draws back to pass. He'll try to receiver. He'll throw it deep, and he connects with Brock Murtaugh. Keenan Kine will push him out of bounds, and it won't move the chains yet for a 1st down, but it'll get him oh so close. As there is another penalty, it seems like, and that one will be on Millard South once again. 2 penalties in a row, costly penalties.
We're waiting for the indication from the officials there.
And you have to think this one's on Millard South, as
oh yeah, they brought the ball back, and we got to find, here's the official.
Holding on the offense, so that'll move Millard South back even more into Westside territory, as they are on now the, we'll see where they get marked, at the 16-yard line. And Ross, penalties are just killing Millard South.
They've got to get the ball all the way up to the 48-yard line. They've got to go 30 yards.
2nd and 30 here for Millard South. Cam Kozel has to do anything in his power to get them 30 yards, and here he is driving back to pass. He'll go to Brock Murtaugh once again, and no pass interference call on that play, as Keenan Kine did grab Brock Murtaugh's arm, but he is very upset they did not get the call, and that would have been a game changer on this drive. But nonetheless, it'll be 4th and 30 here for the Patriots.
And we hear the Millard South fans and the student body, they are in an uproar on the opposite side of the field. This will bring up another big 3rd down play.
And Ross, he clearly held his arm, and there's no shying away from that, but no referee saw it, so that means brings up 4th down. Oh, it'll be a repeat of 3rd down. Excuse me. Here's Kozel. Kozel raw to his right. He'll try an open receiver. He'll take it for himself, and he'll get brought down. He'll get tackled by Bo Ryan, and there's nowhere to go there for Kozel, as now 4th down will be brought up, and here comes the punting team, and there's Bo Ryan tackling him from the back, and he has nowhere to go. And
Well, the Warriors will get a chance to get the ball back, and Cotton will go all the way back to about his 40-yard line to receive this punt.
Cotton back to receive the punt. Simon McClendon out to punt the ball, and the punt is off, and it'll be a line drive punt all the way back inside the 30-yard line, and it'll bounce upfield, and so the ball will be placed at around the 31-yard line, and that is where the offense will take over. We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we will have more Westside football action. Back here at Westside, and prior to the punt, there was a holding on Westside. It was holding on Andrew Nielsen, so that'll push the ball all the way back inside the 20 on the 19-yard line, and that is where Anthony Rizak will take over. Rizak in the shotgun formation. Heel option, Trevor Spady out to the right. John Mez-Ross takes the handoff, and he'll get brought down around the 23-yard line.
And don't you think that Millard South defense is going to really spy on the quarterback Anthony Rizak after his 89-yard run on the last possession for Westside? So the Warriors trying to get something going here to maybe try and take the lead before halftime.
2nd and 8 here for the Warriors. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Rizak will roll out to his right. He'll get sacked. Sacked in the backfield. And that'll push the Warriors back even more.
Yeah, Lance Rucker, their defensive end, he's got 8 tackles for losses this season, just one of their big defensive players, and that creates a big 3rd and long for this Westside offense right now.
It'll be 3rd and 19 here for the Warriors. 3 receivers on the far side, 1 to the near side. Rizak in the backfield. He'll drop back to pass. He'll take it for himself up the middle, and Rizak will have nowhere to go as a host of Patriots will meet him at the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up 4th down here for the Warriors.
You know, that's too bad the Warriors couldn't get any momentum on that possession, because Millard South's going to get the ball back here with under 3 minutes to play, and they can probably have a chance to get some points on the board before halftime.
Marty Mormino out to punt the ball for the Warriors.
We haven't seen Marty that much this season. The Warriors have not punted the ball hardly at all this season, but Marty's a good one. He's one of the top ones in the state.
It'll be a penalty on Millard South once again. They jumped a little bit too early. Ben Menachidi out to return for the Patriots, and there's a 5-yard penalty on the Patriots, so now the ball is on the 20-yard line, and that is where Marty Mormino will take place.
Well, the Patriots trying to, anticipate the snap and maybe try and block this punt.
The punt is off from Mormino. High punt there. It'll land on around the 40-yard line, but it takes a big-time bounce all the way inside the 30-yard line, where it'll be most likely placed around the 26 or 27. Big-time punt there from Marty Mormino, who punted that ball all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that was a 54-yard punt for Marty Mormino. Marty came into this game as the number 2 punter in the state. He averages over 40 yards a punt, but Westside Special Teams comes through again. Just a big punt, put that ball, opposite field, and now they start from their 27-yard line. That's a huge punt for Westside.
1st and 10 here for Cam Coughlin. He'll be in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap, rolls out to his left, pitches it off to Nolan Feller. Feller has a hole, and he'll get tackled out of bounds around the 37-yard line. And there's that option play once again, Ross. We've seen about 2 times now, and now 3 from Coughlin to Feller.
Millard South's got 2 timeouts left in this half.
And it may be a penalty on the play. We didn't see any flags be thrown, and there may be some confusion between referees and teams. And there will be a penalty on the Patriots once again. 10-yard penalty on the Patriots. That puts them at the 24-yard line. And Ross, penalties so far have been a killer to Millard South as they are still tied here. It was just too far out of reach for Nolan Feller in that play. It was just too far out of reach for Nolan Feller, and that is the first time that play has not worked in their favor, and they'll redo 2nd and 7.
And that stopped the clock at 1:28. 1:28 on the clock.
Third and 7 here, for the Patriots as they are still in Westside territory. 1:28 remains on the clock. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Coughlin drops back to pass. He'll throw the ball, and it is incomplete. Incomplete pass there. It was intended for Brock Murtaugh, just underthrown once again, and that brings up 4th down and a chance for Westside to score within the quarter.
Yeah, it's interesting that Millard South, did that and didn't just run the clock out because their field position after that penalty really pushed them back. But Westside's got a chance to get the ball back here and maybe score in the final 2 minutes.
McClendon back to punt. That's a line drive punt to Keenan Cotton, and it'll roll. But Keenan Cotton will take the punt, and he'll get brought down around the 40-yard line.
Well, they've got 1:15 to go in the half. They've got all 3 of their timeouts, and we'll keep it right here as Westside tries to, run their 2-minute offense and get this ball downfield. So I'm thinking a lot of quick passes to the sidelines, but they got 3 timeouts. They got plenty of time.
1:15 remains here in the first half, and we've seen a mix of throwing and running the ball from Anthony Rizak, and they're going to have to move fast here with only 1:15 remaining.
But they've got, Tristan Alvano, just get it into field goal range, and if you have more time, maybe score a touchdown.
There will be 1 receiver to the far side, and that is it. Kurt Kubrich in the backfield along with Anthony Rizak. Rizak takes the snap, and they'll stop the play here. False start on the offense, so that'll move the ball back 5 yards.
And that's not the way to start a drive, but they had problems on earlier here in the quarter, and that's when Anthony Rizak went and ran 89 yards on 1st down and 20, so maybe they'll get something going here.
1st and 15 here with 1:14 remaining. Rizak takes a snap. He'll drop back to pass. He'll break a tackle. There goes Anthony Rizak to the left side. Rizak will take it for himself and get brought down out of bounds around the 40-yard line for a gain of around 5. And that takes off around 10 seconds on the clock.
They've got plenty of time still. They've got still 3 timeouts, but they've got to make up some ground here.
2nd and 10 now for Westside. Rizak waiting for the play from the sideline. There will be 2 receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side. Kurt Kubrich in the backfield at the running back position. Rizak takes a snap. He'll take it for himself. Rizak goes deep to Jalen Lloyd. It is caught. Jalen Lloyd with the reception. And Westside has to move fast here as now they're under a minute, and what a catch there over the head of number 41, Gavin Nunley. And there's a reason why he is one of the top receivers in the state.
The clock stops for the chains to get ready for the first down. Their start and it's running with 57 seconds.
54 seconds in counting here. Rizak will take it for himself to the right side. There goes Rizak. He'll get tackled inside the 20-yard line, and he'll get brought down around the 14.
And they'll call a timeout with 45 seconds left for Westside.
We're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more Westside football action. Back here at Phelps Field, 45 seconds remaining here in the first half. Westside now in their red zone after a big-time completion from Anthony Rizak to Jalen Lloyd, as there are two receivers to the far side, Jalen Lloyd to the near side. Rizak in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap. He'll do a quick pass over to Trevor Spady. Spady will get a gain of around 5 there on the play.
And do they call a timeout?
Westside not calling a timeout here yet. And they're going to move quick here, 28 seconds and counting. Rizak could go in the shotgun formation. Jalen Lloyd to the near side, two receivers to the far side. Rizak drops back to pass. He'll try to find open receiver. He'll take it for himself. Rizak will dance around and he'll get sacked. Sacked in the backfield, and Westside has no choice but to call a timeout here.
Yeah, that was just a great play by Millard South.
That was Caden Olin on the sack there, and that'll put Westside back to make it 3rd down and 10.
You know, I think Westside really just kind of rushed that play just a little bit. I don't think everybody on the offense was on the same page on that. And Rizak was looking for a receiver, just kind of rolled out and couldn't find a receiver, and spent too much time back there. And Millard South was able to make the tackle for the loss, but the clock has run down. I mean, they lost about 30 seconds on that play.
The intended receivers, Jalen Lloyd and Brock Murtaugh, did a great job of locking Jalen Lloyd up, and it had no chance of a play there, and Anthony Rizak got sacked, and now Westside will be on the 15-yard line with 13 seconds remaining. Ross, you mentioned that play took off so much time. Anthony Rizak tried to go out to his right. He tried to find open receiver. He really looked on the left side first, and then he saw nobody, so he went to the right side, and once again there was nobody, so he had no choice but either to throw it out or take the sack. And here we go. 3rd and 10 here with 13 seconds remaining, most likely to be the last play of the half. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far side. Rizak takes a snap. He'll drop back to pass. He'll try to find Trevor Spady, and it is out of reach. And it'll bring up 4th down with 9 seconds remaining.
Well, that brings out Tristan Alvano. He'll come out on the field, and it'll be about looks like probably a 31-yard field goal along the right hash. Tristan's been money from this location all season. This will be for his 8th field goal of the season. He leads the state with McClanahan from Millard South with 7.
Alvano 0 for 1 on the night so far, with his first missed field goal being from 46 yards. And Millard South will take a timeout here, trying to ice Tristan Alvano with 9 seconds remaining. We'll take a quick timeout as well on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we'll have more Westside football action. 9 seconds remain here, and the field goal unit is out. Tristan Alvano lining up for the 31-yard attempt. This will most likely conclude the first half here. Westside and Millard South currently tied. Here is the kick from Alvano. It is up, and it is good. 31-yard field goal good from Tristan Alvano, and that'll make it 17-14 here with just 5 seconds remaining, and Tristan Alvano is pumped up after that one.
Well, he's money from that location inside the 40-yard line. He usually connects on those. He missed a 47-yarder tonight, but that gives Westside the lead for the first time in this game. They were down 14-0, but they have scored 17 unanswered points here in the second quarter to kind of turn this game around, and we'll just get one more play here, a kickoff, and he'll probably drill this into the end zone, or maybe just a little grounder to maybe run some clock off.
Ross, you take a look at the first quarter, and the first quarter was all Millard South. Millard South, end of the first quarter, 14-0, and then now in the second quarter, Westside has just exploded. It was really just led off by Anthony Rizak, who has both of the touchdowns as of right now, one of them being an 89-yard rushing touchdown, which was an incredible play to see from him, and it was 1st and 20.
Yeah, let's see what Tristan does on this kick. Will he kick it into the end zone, or just maybe just a little dribbler to run the clock out?
And here goes Alvano with the kick, and it'll be a long kick there into the end zone. But it'll be received, and it'll be a touchback for the Patriots, and they'll be on their own 20-yard line with 5 seconds remaining, most likely being one play left in the half.
And you know they're going to put as many players in the secondary as they can. Millard South may just take a knee here and head to the locker room down by 3. That's what's probably going to happen since the ball's on their 20-yard line.
Well, Ross, and you have to realize going into the second half, Westside will get the ball because Westside deferred to the second half, so it was a big-time play there for Westside, as now they're going into the half and getting the ball back.
Millard South's just going to take a knee, and that'll be the end of the half.
Time will expire here in the first half. Westside with a huge second quarter to pick up the lead going into halftime. Westside 17, Millard South 14. Ross, what are your opinions on this first half of football?
Well, it was the tale of two quarters. It was Millard South's quarter in the first quarter, and it was Westside's in the second quarter. But the important thing for the Warriors is they head to the locker room in the lead with a field goal there, thank goodness they got some points out of that final drive in the last few minutes and had that big pass to Lloyd, and he's just done a great job. And Anthony Rizak with an 89-yard run, the play of the game so far. So Westside's sitting good right now, heading to the locker room.
We're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we will have Ryan Kelly with the halftime report.
Good evening here, folks. I'm Ryan Kelly, your sideline analysis here tonight. We have the Westside Warriors taking on the Millard South Patriots. Right now we're in halftime, and I'm bringing you your halftime stats. We have Warriors up 17-14, and it's been an awesome kind of night here. The Warriors did not start out their best in the first quarter. Millard South actually kind of started out a lot better than this Warrior team. They opened it up with 2 touchdowns, making it 14-0, and then Westside kind of came back and really showed this Millard South team what they're made of and scored 2 more touchdowns and then 1 field goal by Tristan Alvano to put them in the lead 17-14. Let's kind of run it back real quick and take a look at who scored what. We have Camden Kozel for the Patriots scoring a 1 rushing yard touchdown. Then Alvano tried to retaliate back, but he missed his field goal. And we have Nolan Feller from Millard South with a 6-yard passing touchdown. Then Anthony Rizak with a 2-yard rushing touchdown. And then kind of the play of the half really for Anthony Rizak in this Warrior team, an 89-yard rushing touchdown. That was a really awesome play to see and really kind of moved the momentum for this Warrior team. It really just got them back on their feet, kind of got the mentality side correct for this Warrior team. And then Tristan Alvano got a 32-yard field goal to pull ahead here 17-14. Taking a look at the team stats right now, Millard South is leading this one in passing yards, 137-98. Warriors at 98. And now looking at the rushing yards, Anthony Rizak really kind of owns this one here because he had his 89-yard rushing touchdown. But Warriors now 139-57 rushing yards. They're really dominating in that category. Let's take a look at some individual stats here as I pull them up. Camden Kozel, he has for passing yards, he has 131 yards so far, and then Westside for Anthony Rizak, 98 yards for passing. So he's kind of leading that one here in the first half. This Warrior team definitely has the right mindset to win this one against the Patriots. They really showed what they're made of here in the second quarter. So what's my question here kind of now is what's next for this Millard South team? They got to kind of keep putting on the fight, keep showing what they did in that first quarter throughout the rest of this game. And then the Warrior team, they just got to keep going. They got to capitalize off of the mistakes that this Millard South team has been making and really not let them run the ball. Westside's defense, we've seen a lot in this season, is letting them get the ball up the left side and getting through. They got to patch that and be able to really get through to keep this game to a Warrior victory. Well, we're going to take a quick break here, and Max Coughlin and Ross Jernstrom will be back here with third quarter coverage, second half coverage. So we'll be back here after this short break.
Back here at Phelps Field with a halftime report from me and Ross Jernstrom. Ross, we had a halftime report from Ryan Kelly earlier in the half, and now it is me and you. What a half it's been so far.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the big difference has been Westside's ground game. They have 139 yards compared to just 56 for Millard South. Now go to the passing yards, and Millard South has the advantage, 137, but the Warriors have pushed almost 100. They have 98 yards, but Jalen Lloyd, what a game he's had. 4 receptions for 90 yards. He's showing that speed, but he's made some great receptions.
Ross, 2 players to look out for right now for Westside and Millard South. We'll start with Westside. Anthony Reed, that's a name you just cannot pass up on the passing side right now. He's 5 for 6, 98 yards. 90 of those he just mentioned are to Jalen Lloyd. And then on the rushing side, that's where he really stands out. 12 carries, 121 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. One of them being an 89-yard to the house rushing. They were all the way back inside the 10-yard line, and he took it. And not to mention, it was 1st and 20 after a big-time penalty, and so he really is helping out the team right now. And also Jalen Lloyd, 4 receptions, 90 yards, like you already mentioned. And then on the Millard South side, Cam Coughlin, you can't help but pass that name up right now. 9 for 16, 131 passing yards, and not any touchdowns yet on the day. There is a passing touchdown, but it was from Gavin Nunley on that trick play we saw. And then Nolan Feller, 11 carries, 52 yards, no touchdowns yet. And then also Brock Murtaugh, he has 3 receptions and 69 yards. He's really that big receiver that Cam Coughlin has gone to on those big plays.
What Millard South has done is that second quarter, they hurt themselves. They have 64 yards in penalties. On 7 penalties, Westside only has 3 penalties for 25 yards, but that really killed a lot of their drives in that second quarter. They just hurt themselves.
We saw that last game against Kearney for Westside. Westside ended the game with 7 penalties, 474 yards, and now Westside really doing a great job of holding themselves accountable on penalties. Only 3 in the first half, and they have to do a great job here in the second half on not getting a lot of those penalties racked up to their name. And Millard South, on the other hand, not doing a great job. We've seen it, I think, on a time there were maybe 3 in a row where they had penalties, and they just pushed themselves back, and they stabbed themselves in the foot, it seems like, in a way, and that is exactly why they are now trailing after leading 14-0 in the first quarter.
One of the big parts of that first half, to me, was when Westside had scored. It was 14-7, and Millard South punted the ball away, and Westside fumbled the punt. But the defense came in and stopped Millard South and pushed him back and sacked Coughlin for a big loss. And then Millard South had to punt the ball, and that's when they got the ball on their 11-yard line, and then Rezak ran 89 for a yard touchdown. But that sequence right there where they stopped him after that fumbled punt really turned the game around for Westside.
So Westside will start with the ball in the second half as they won the coin toss at the very beginning of the game and deferred to the second half, and it has worked out in the favor as now they are leading by 3 coming in to the last half of play. And Ross, what does Millard South have to do to really turn themselves around and put themselves in a winning position in the second half?
Well, what worked for them in that first half was the passing combination of Coughlin to Brock Murtaugh. He made some big plays that set up touchdowns, and they really didn't have much of a ground game. But Coughlin, 9 of 16, but he really threw the ball extremely well. No interceptions in this game. They're playing, the quarterbacks are doing a great job. It's kind of a battle of the dual quarterbacks tonight. Camden Coughlin for Millard South and Anthony Rezak for Westside, and we're seeing quite a show. It's still a close game, 17-14. Millard South owned the first quarter, Westside owned the second quarter, and they got a field goal right before the end of the first half by Tristan Alvano from 31 yards, and they've done a great job. And we'll just see how this second half shakes out, but the Warriors get the ball first.
So there is a minute and 26 and counting here before we get underway with second half play. We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we will have more third quarter action. We're here for third quarter action. I'm Max Coughlin. Alongside me tonight is Ross Jernstrom. And Ross, 14 seconds remain here in the half. Millard South is out to kick. Simon McLean, and one of the best kickers in the state, alongside Tristan Alvano, out to kick off for Millard South. Westside currently leading 17-14. Jalen Lloyd, Kurt Kubrich, and Keenan Cotton. No, that is Jamez Ross, who is making his appearance tonight, back to return. It is usually Keenan Cotton back to return along with Jalen Lloyd and Kurt Kubrich, but tonight it is Jamez Ross.
The temperature has dropped a little bit down here into the 40s, so we'll see if that makes a difference usually in the passing game, but you got to think maybe a fumble or two, an incomplete pass. It's just a little harder to hold out of the ball when it gets a little chilly like this. But the big thing is there's no wind. From earlier this afternoon, it was like a 25 to 30 mile per hour winds. We had to really lock down everything of our equipment here for the broadcast, but it has really been a nice evening here at Phelps Field.
Here comes the Westside offense, led by Anthony Rizak, who had one of the best rushes of the year so far, an 89 rushing touchdown, and there is a flag to start out the third quarter. It'll most likely be a false start on the offense, and that'll push the Warriors back to start this half.
Somebody jumped on the far side of the field, probably a receiver, took off a little too early.
5-yard penalty puts the Warriors back on the 15-yard line, and that is now where they will start here.
It hasn't hurt the Warriors so far, so in this game, the penalties, but it's always good to have that penalty on the first play.
Rizak will roll out to his left. He'll try to find a receiver, and it is almost a one-handed catch. Not enough, though. That was Andrew Nielsen with the almost one-hand catch there, but not enough, and we'll redo the down. So it'll be 2nd and 15 here for Westside.
You know, one player we haven't seen tonight much of is Kurt Kubrich. Is he playing tonight, or is he injured?
We've seen him out there a few times in the running back position. It's been a mix of Jamez Ross and Kurt Kubrich, but as of right now, just a lot of Jamez Ross. And there's Anthony Rizak. He'll take it for himself up the middle. He's still going, and he'll get brought down eventually around the 21-yard line.
Anthony made a good decision there. Didn't see any receivers open, tucked it under himself, and as you know, he can break it away for a long run. But now this will bring up, you know, a 3rd and long situation, and we'll see what the Warriors can do with a bunch of receivers out there.
3rd and 8 here for Westside. Kurt Kubrich now in the game. Substitution in for Jamez Ross. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side. Rizak in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap, drops back to pass. He'll try to find a receiver. It is intended for Jalen Lloyd, and it is caught. Jalen Lloyd with the first down catch. And once again, what a catch there for Jalen Lloyd. That's his 5th reception on the night, and now he is over 100 yards receiving.
And he has been Anthony Rizak's favorite receiver tonight. 5 receptions for over 100 yards. And he's had some big plays, but another penalty, it looks like, on the Warriors.
And that'll be the 2nd penalty here for the Warriors in just this single drive. And Ross, we talked about it at halftime. Westside currently was leading in the penalty race, and now they're slowly creeping their way and hurting themselves.
Yeah, Millard South had quite a few penalties in that first half. I wondered if the Millard South coaches might have said something to the officiating crew, like, call this game even. But, yeah, they had 65 yards in penalties in the first half, and so far the Warriors have already been penalized twice here.
It'll be 3rd and 18 here for Westside. 3 receivers to the near side, none to the far side. Anthony Rizak in the backfield in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap. He'll take it for himself to the right side. Rizak will have nowhere to go as he is brought down, maybe a gain of 1, but the punting team will come out here as it'll be 4th and 17, And just penalties on that drive right there, Ross, is what will kill you.
Well, the last time Marty Momino punted in the first half, he booted one 54 yards. There was no return on it. He really had a lot of hang time on that one. We'll see if he can do the same thing here, punting out of his own end zone, and Millard South's going to put on a rush.
The snap is off. High snap. Moreno gets the punt off. It's a high punt. It'll take a roll to the left, and it'll be picked up around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it was a high snap.
And we'll have to see.
And a 33-yard punt.
Damon Benning down on the sideline thought that should have been Westside's ball, but nonetheless, it is Millard South who will take over on around the 45-yard line.
Well, this will be a big series right here to start the second half to see who has the, the winning tempo here. Who's going to come out and kind of set the tempo for this second half. But Westside is really coming off a strong second quarter on defense. See if they can keep that up.
1st and 10 here for Cam Coughlin and the Patriots. They'll start out with Coughlin in the shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the far side. Coughlin gets a snap. He'll hand it off to Nolan Feller. Feller will have a hole. He was still going. He breaks 2 tackles. There goes Feller. He'll get brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Just a great run by Feller. He broke probably 6 or 7 tackles there and broke his way down there, almost a first down.
It'll be 2nd and 3 here for the Patriots on the 38-yard line. Coughlin in the shotgun formation with Feller to his left side. He gets the snap. He'll take it for himself at the middle. There goes Cam Coughlin. Cam Coughlin has a hole. He'll break out to his left. He may go all the way, and he does. Touchdown, Cam Coughlin.
38 yards on that for Cam Coughlin. He probably says, hey, Anthony Rizak, I could run the ball too. And he goes 38 yards. And now Millard South is back in front in this game. The first time they have really shown anything on offense since the first quarter.
What a run there for the dual threat quarterback, Cam Coughlin. And here is Simon McClendon out for the attempted PAT. It is almost blocked by Keenan Cotton, but the kick is good, and that makes it 21 Millard South, Westside 17 after a big-time rushing touchdown from the quarterback, Cam Coughlin. We will take a break here on the WTV Live Network. 9:17 remains here in the third quarter. back here at Westside after a Camden Colesville rushing touchdown, and now Millard South is in the lead 21-17. Cam Colesville basically said, hey, Anthony, I can do the exact same thing.
Yep.
There's the kick from Simon McClellan, as it is a touchback once again, and Westside will take over on the 20-yard line.
Well, the Warriors need to make a statement here and drive this ball downfield. They've fallen behind. They were down 14-0 earlier in this game, then scored 17 unanswered points in the second quarter. And now this Westside offense has got to get something going, and they've got to avoid the penalties, which they had 2 on that first possession of the second half.
That last drive, Ross, you just mentioned it, that is killer for them, the penalties, and they cannot have that here on this drive, as now they currently are down. Rezak out there in the shotgun formation. He'll take his time. He gets a snap. He'll roll out to his left. He'll try to find a hole. He'll take it for himself, and he'll get knocked down around the 23-yard line.
There wasn't much there. Good pursuit by the Millard South defense. They chased him down, and it was only about a 2 or 3 yard gain right there for Westside, so not much on that.
2nd and 7 here for Westside, as Anthony Rezak was slow to get up on that hit right there, but he will still be in the game here. 2 receivers to the near side. Jalen Lloyd all alone to the far side. John Ross to his left. Rezak will take it for himself. He'll draw it back to pass. He tries to find his twin brother, Teddy Rezak, and he connects with him. Teddy Rezak still going. There goes Teddy Rezak. He might have a hole. He'll try to break a tackle. There goes Teddy Rezak. He'll get brought down to the 11-yard line. Brother to brother, Anthony to Teddy.
Wow, that was just an impressive run right there by Teddy Rezak. I mean, he did a lot after he caught the ball, taking it all the way down to the 12-yard line. And the chain gang is still running downfield trying to get the ball down there, and Westside's all ready to snap it.
What a throw there from Anthony Rezak to twin brother Teddy Rezak. Westside moving fast here. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. John Ross to his right. Rezak will roll out to his right. He'll take it for himself. Rezak trying to find a hole, and a touchdown for Anthony Rezak. Make that 3 on the night to his name, and that'll put Westside back in the lead, 23-21, pending the PAT.
Well, Anthony Rezak is really showing something here tonight. Running the football, he gets that ball into the end zone for the 3rd time tonight. He's just done a great job, and he puts the Warriors back in the lead.
Ross, you got to start saying, what can't Anthony Rezak do? He showed it all on that one drive right there. A big-time completion to Teddy Rezak, and then a run for himself, and that's 3 rushing touchdowns on the night. The PAT from Tristan Alvano is good, and that'll be 24 points for Westside, as they currently now lead by 3 here in the 3rd quarter. 8-12 remains. We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more Westside football action. Back here at Phelps Field after Anthony Rezak rushing touchdown, 3 on the night for him. I'm Max Coughlin. Alongside me tonight is Ross Jernstrom. Tristan Alvano out for the kickoff. Ross, this game so far has been back and forth. It has been a quarterback battle, as you mentioned earlier in the pregame show. We were maybe going to see that, and we are so far seeing that through 3.
Now Anthony Rezak has over 300 yards in total offense, 163 through the air, and 143 rushing yards. That gives him 306 yards. He came into this game 4th in Class A in total offense. He's having a big night tonight, and he's putting the Warriors back in the lead.
Coughlin back out once again here in the third quarter of action. Coughlin gets a snap. He'll roll out to his right. He'll take it for himself. There goes Camden Coughlin. Big hit there, and he'll get brought down out of bounds after.
He's a tough ball player, I'll tell you what. There was a lot of tackles in there and pushed him out of bounds down about the 25-yard line.
There's a Warrior on the ground here. We'll have to see who it is, as there are coaches and players blocking my view, but it is confirmed a Westside player. We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we will have more information. Back here at Westside High School, injured player on the ground is number 55, RJ Eckhart. Just not what you want to see, Ross.
No, these are always tough. It's tough for the parents, the family. You hope it's not serious.
That's the last thing you want to see, as now both teams have taken a knee, and just not what you want to see. A big-time contributor to this team, already a sack to his name today. Just very unfortunate for this Westside defense.
Yeah, they've got the entire coaching staff over there. The Warriors very concerned, and now the Millard South medical team's coming over from the far side of the field, see if they can help out.
Just not what you want to see here.
You know, the officials are being very careful.
You just hope to everything it is nothing too serious here. As he is getting up now in a round of applause, and it is amazing to see RJ Eckhart get up and walking off slowly. He'll be taken to the medical booth here, and just an unfortunate curve of events there for the Westside defense, as he has been a key contributor all year long.
Well, it's really good news to see that he is walking on his own accord. He's got two people helping him, but that he's walking okay. And he'll go in the medical tent and they'll take a look at him.
We'll resume play here. 2nd and 5 for Millard South. Colger will roll out to his left, tries to find a receiver, and he does. He connects with Grant Rankin. Big time hit there from Keenan Cotton, and he will get all the way to the 35-yard line. And that'll move the chains for Millard South.
Yeah, the defense has got to get their head back in the game here. You know, one of their best players heads to the sidelines, and it's kind of shakes everybody up right there after an injury like that. It took almost, 3 or 4 minutes to take care of, and now Westside's got to get their head back in the game.
1st and 10 here from Millard South. Colger will do another option play to Nolan Feller. Feller will go all the way up to around the 43-yard line. Not enough for a first down, but good enough for around 7.
You know, Millard South's got this game plan. A lot of short yardage situations where they can, take a lot of time off the clock and, try to not give Westside the ball too much in this game and make it a high-scoring affair. That's their game plan coming in, and they've really stuck to it.
Colger will do another option play to Nolan Feller, and he will not get the first down yet. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2. And Ross, Millard South really going to that option play from Colger to Feller a lot today. That may be in double digits now in the time they've ran that play.
Well, they've got to get the ball to about the 46-yard line for a first down. So there's another big player for this West Side defense. And we've seen Kojal make a quick pass to a running back, something for a short yard situation, but we know he can do it on his own too.
3rd and 3 here for Cam Kojal. He'll hand it off to Nolan Feller.
And it'll be really close. He had to get to about the 41-yard line.
We'll see if they give it to him here. And it will be a first down, and that moves the chains for Millard South. Big time run there from Nolan Feller. Westside defense has to do their best here to minimize as many yards as Millard South can get, as Westside currently just leading by 3. Cam Colcher dropping back to pass. He'll try to find a receiver. Quick pass over to Grant Rankin. It is not enough for a first down. He tried to find either Amarian Jackson downfield, just was not open. Ty Kiefer did a great job of holding him to no coverage there. Second and 2 here for the Patriots. Grant Rankin did a great job of getting that pass as Cam Colger couldn't find anybody downfield, so he had to rely on Grant Rankin closest to him. Colger drops back to pass. Quick pass over to Brock Murtaugh. Murtaugh will try to find a hole. He'll get brought down, but it will be good enough for a first down, and that will move the chains here as Millard South passes midfield.
Millard South doing a good job giving their defense some rest here with this drive. Really pushing the ball downfield. Second first down on this drive for them.
1st and 10 here for Cam Colger. One receiver to the far side, and there will be a penalty, and that is on Westside. Andrew Ryan, number 32, he jumped way too early, and that'll be costly, and another penalty for Westside. As
yeah, the penalties have really cost Westside in this third quarter. 2 on their opening possession and now 1 on the defense.
The big time problem here for Westside in the second half has so far been the penalties, mainly on offense, and now, Ross, you just mentioned, we're seeing them on defense, and that'll be costly, especially once you get closer down into an end zone. Now it's 1st and 5 here for the Patriots. Colger will roll out to his right, tries to find open receiver. He has a lot of pressure, and it is caught. Grant Rankin once again. Big time play there from Colger to Rankin, and that is good for another Patriots first down. And they are currently cruising down the field here as they are now on the 32-yard line.
And they're burning a lot of clock here. And that most of all, they're giving their defense some rest and just really pushing it downfield.
Colger will hand it off to Feller. Feller will get a gain of around 5. Ross, Nolan Feller tonight has so far done a great job on a lot of those option plays and up the middle. He doesn't get those big bursts of speed, but he gets a lot of those 4 or 5 yard gains where if it's 1st and 10, you like those plays because then it puts you in position at a 2nd and 5, and you can do either you can throw the ball or you can run the ball, and you can do one of those option plays that they've done so far a lot tonight. And Feller has done just a great job of really giving them in good position, especially when it's 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 4 here now for the Patriots. Colger drops back to pass. He'll try to find an open receiver. Big time pass, and it is caught. It is caught over the head of the defender, Amarian Jackson. Oh my goodness.
And boy, Colger just took his time right there, looking for his receiver in the end zone, and he lofted a perfect strike there, about 30 yards for a touchdown, and Millard South is back in the lead.
27-24 after a huge reception there for Amarian Jackson. Simon McClannon off for the PAT attempt, and it is good. 28 Millard South, Westside 24 after a big time reception there from Cam Colger to Amarian Jackson. We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. It is 3:26 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Back here at Phelps Field after a big-time touchdown there from Cam Colger to Amarian Jackson, and Ross, he caught that over the defender's head, and that is probably the hardest catch to make.
And Colger just threw it perfectly, and we are seeing a great show by 2 really good quarterbacks here tonight. Colger doing it with his arm, and Anthony Rizak doing it with his legs, and now it'll be Rizak's turn to answer here with about 3.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter and see if he can take the Warriors back downfield and put them back in the lead. He did a nice job the last time the Warriors were out there. They just got to, limit the mistakes, the penalties and everything, and they'll be fine.
And Ross, you mentioned it earlier today, you can't really look at Millard South's record and say, oh, they're 4-3. They're not that good of a team.
Oh, no.
You have to realize that they didn't have Colger for half this. A great job. He got pressured by 2 Millard South defenders and just did a great job of dumping it over to Jamez Ross for a gain of around 8.
That could have been a big off, but Ross made the reception and turned out to be a big play.
2nd and 3 here for Rizak. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Ross in the backfield with Rizak. Jamez Ross takes a handoff. He'll get stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Just Brock Murtaugh met him right there at the line of scrimmage, and Jamez Ross had nowhere to go.
Yep. And it's still 3rd down and maybe 2 now for a 1st down, and big play here for the Warriors.
3rd and 2 here for Westside as there'll be 1 receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side. Rizak will drop back to pass. Quick pass over to Dawson Hardick. That'll be good for a 1st down here for the Warriors.
Boy, I'll tell you what, right there, Rizak disguised that play really well. Looked to his left and then threw right over to the right side and connected for the first down, and that was a big play on third down.
Big time play there for Dawson Hardick, as that was his first reception of the evening so far. Brings up 1st and 10 now for the Warriors. Rizak in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap. He'll drop back to pass. Tries to find a receiver. And he finds Teddy Rizak, his brother. Teddy Rizak is in open field. He gets brought down around the 40-yard line. Big time reception there from brother to brother.
Boy, I tell you what, those two have connected twice tonight and for big plays.
And that gets the Warriors past midfield, and now they are creeping towards the red zone as they are on the 40-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Kurt Kubrich in the backfield along with Anthony Rizak. Rizak takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Kurt Kubrich. Kubrich bullies his way through the middle of the line, but gets stopped right there for maybe a gain of 1.
Great job right there up front by that Millard South defense. They stopped Kubrich, and Kubrich is not easy to take down. He's one of the toughest runners on this Westside team, but Millard South met him at the line of scrimmage, and the Warriors could only get just a couple yards on that play.
2nd and 10 here for Westside. Millard South's defensive line doing a great job of stopping the run up the middle. Rizak, quick pass over to Teddy Rizak once again. Gain of around 6 or 7 on that play.
Well, Westside has definitely found something there along the left side of Millard South's defense. That's the 3rd time that they've gone over there to Rizak, and they have found a way to get him open, and they think they've found something there on that Millard South secondary.
3rd and 2 here for Anthony Rizak. He'll get the snap. Quarterback keep for himself. There goes Anthony Rizak. It'll be good for a 1st down. What a run there for Rizak to extend the drive.
Great push on the left side by that Warrior offensive line. That enabled Rizak to get that 1st down, but that was huge. And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter.
End of the 3rd quarter here. Westside currently trails 24-28. We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more Westside football action. Back here at Phelps Field. Ross, Westside creeping their way into the red zone here as they are currently down by 4. Rizak drops back to pass. He'll try to find open receiver. He goes deep, and it is deflected. That was intended for brother Teddy Rizak once again, and it was deflected by Brock Murtaugh, who did a great job.
Yeah, good coverage there by Millard South. They had a couple players down there on Rizak in the end zone, and you know, it looked like Anthony was looking for him the whole time, waiting for him to get some separation, but not much there.
It'll be 2nd and 10 now for Westside. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Rizak takes it for himself once again, and he'll get brought down just around the 25-yard line.
And it brings up another big play here on 3rd down for this Westside offense. They've been in this situation 2 times on this drive, and they've been able to get the 1st down, but this one's a little tougher, 3rd down and 7.
Ross, Kurt Kubrich is in the game here for Jamez Ross as they take time both for each other. They're the 1-2 punch of running backs this year. 3 receivers to the far side. Rizak drops back to pass. 3rd down here. He connects with Jalen Lloyd. It'll be good for a 1st down.
That's a huge play by Jalen Lloyd. I'll tell you what, he's had a big night tonight. He's had 6 receptions for over 100 yards, and he has kept a lot of these drives alive tonight by just getting open, but that's a huge play by Jalen Lloyd.
Lloyd, a big-time addition to this year's team as he is a transfer from Omaha Central, and he has been one of the most impactful transfer of this year. 1st and 10 now for the Warriors as they are in their red zone. 3 receivers on the near side. Rizak will take it for himself up the middle. There goes Anthony Rizak. He'll do a spin move, and he'll get brought down around the 15-yard line.
Great pursuit by Millard South's defense there. They know Rizak can run the ball, and not much of decision there. They knew he was going to run, and he didn't surprise the Patriots at all, and really no gain on that play at all for the Warriors.
2nd and 9 now for the Warriors as they're on the 14-yard line here. Once again, 3 receivers to the near side. Kurt Kubrich in the backfield along with quarterback Anthony Rizak. Rizak motions Jalen Lloyd out to the right. Screen pass over to Lloyd. Lloyd tries to find a tackle. There he goes. There goes Jalen Lloyd for the touchdown. Touchdown Jalen Lloyd on a screen pass from Rizak to Lloyd. Jalen Lloyd did it himself all the way from there. And that'll put Westside in the lead.
Yeah, what a night for Jalen Lloyd. He's got 8 receptions on the night. He's really doing it all for the Warriors. He had that big 85-yard touchdown pass play last week, and he's followed it up this week with some big plays.
Alvano out there for the PAT attempt. And it is good. Westside now leads 31-28 here. 9:57 remains in the 4th quarter. We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more 4th quarter action. Back here at Phelps Field after a big-time touchdown from Jalen Lloyd. Ross, seemed like Jalen Lloyd did all the work there. It was a screen pass from Anthony Rizak, and Lloyd dodged a few tackles and took it in for himself.
I love that play. That's kind of what he scored on a week ago against Kearney on the 85-yard run, just kind of a little swing pass down near the sidelines, and it enables him to just kind of do something and break away himself, and he did it, and just a great run to the end zone.
Alvano out to kick off here for the Warriors. And the kick is off, and it'll be all the way back in the end zone for a touchback.
Well, we've got just under 10 minutes to play in this game, and this is the critical situations for both teams right now. These drives are so important because you're not going to get many possessions left in this game, but the Westside defense has to come up with a big stop at some point here in the fourth quarter.
Well, Ross, I can say one thing from last week that we have done better as a whole school. We have made it past the third quarter.
Yes.
We have made it past the third quarter here at Phelps Field, which was not done last week.
Yeah.
We got to 10 minutes and 30 seconds, but we are now in the fourth quarter here. There's Coughlin, drops back to pass. He'll find a receiver, but it is dropped.
Well, he's got to come up with a big play here, and, you talk about last week, and, it's just amazing that they were even to fix the electrical problem that they had here, because there was some doubt when we left Patriots South's field a week ago that whether this game was even going to be played here at Phelps Field, but they got everything fixed, and the lights are on, and we're playing football.
Hopefully no explosions in the bathroom tonight.
Yeah.
Coughlin, he'll roll out to his right. He'll try to find a receiver. He's getting pressure in the backfield. Almost caught by Amarian Jackson.
Ooh, that would have been a huge play by Millard South right there, but good pursuit by the Westside defense. And this comes up with a big third down and long play. The Warrior defense has really got to come through here.
That was Jeremiah Trude on the disruption there from Amarian Jackson. And 3rd and 10 now for Millard South as they are risking a 3-and-out here. Westside defense has to do their best to lock up every single receiver for Millard South. Coughlin gets a snap. He'll drop back all alone. He'll go deep. And it is dropped. Jeremiah Truitt on the disruption once again, doing a great job of breaking that pass up, and it'll be 4th and 10 here for Millard South.
Great pass by Coughlin. He had his receiver there and almost connected there for about a 40-yard pass play, but they're going to punt it away here, and Westside's got a chance to extend this lead.
4th and 10 here for Millard South. Simon McClendon back to punt for Millard South, and there's Keenan Cotton back on the 40-yard line to return. The snap is off, low snap, and there's the punt. Cotton points out the ball as it'll roll back, and it is picked up by number 3, Drew Locum. And here comes the Westside offense.
And Westside's got great field position right here at the own 48-yard line, and it'll be a great setup for the Warriors.
We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more Westside football action. back here at Phelps Field after a TV timeout. Anthony Rizak and the Westside offense back on the field here on the 48-yard line. Jalen Lloyd to the near side, 2 receivers to the far side. Rizak will go to his left. He'll take it for himself. He'll try to break a tackle, and he'll get brought down just past midfield.
I like this. Run the ball. Don't risk maybe an interception or something that might put Millard South in a good position. Run some clock here and just kind of drive the ball downfield as much as you can.
2nd and 7 now for Westside. Jamez Ross in the backfield along with quarterback Anthony Rizak. Rizak takes a snap. Quick pass over to Jamez Ross. Ross tries to break a tackle, and it's a fumble. The ball goes out of Jamez Ross's hands, and it'll be Millard South ball. Oh my goodness, Ross, that is just the exact opposite of that you want if you're Westside. And the Jamez Ross came down on the ground, and it just fell out of his hands.
Yeah, big turnover there. And now this Westside defense has got to come up again like they did on the last possession. But that was a costly mistake for the Warriors. They were sitting in a good position to just run some clock, had the ball at midfield, but now Millard South's got some life, and they only have to go 52 yards to take the lead in this game.
Just a killer for the Westside offense. And here is Millard South offense back on the field. Nolan Feller with a big-time run of around 7 yards.
Yeah, that's a big run. They got a huge push over the right side, that Millard South offensive line, and Feller really just kind of put his nose to the ground and just really pushed the line about 7 yards.
2nd and 3 here for Millard South. Kojal gets a snap. He'll hand it off to Feller once again. Feller will get met at the line. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, he's going to be maybe a couple yards short. He's got to get the ball down to about the 42-yard line, and he's only about a yard away.
3rd and 1 here for Cam Kojal and the Millard South offense. Brock Murtaugh to the nearest side of your screen. 3 receivers to the far side. Nolan Feller in the backfield along with Cam Kojal, the quarterback. Kojal gets a snap. He'll take it for himself up the middle. It'll be good for a first down. What a run there from Cam Kojal, as he can throw the ball, but he can also run the ball. And Ross, we saw it earlier in the second half. He had that big-time 30-plus yard rush running touchdown.
Well, they got a big run on their first play of the drive, and all they had was just a couple 3 yards to make on the 2nd and 3rd down, and they did it. And that clock's running, and we're down to about just over 7 minutes to go in this game.
1st and 10 here for Millard South, as there'll be a false start here now on Millard South, and another penalty. That'll be the first penalty for Millard South here in the second half, Ross. They've really done a great job of cleaning those up from the first half. 7 penalties in the first half of play, and now that is their only penalty so far in the second half.
A costly penalty for them here at a critical situation, trying to take the lead here against Westside, and it's pushed him back to the 46-yard line.
1st and 15 now for Cam Kojal as he gets a snap. He'll drop back. He'll roll out to his right, and he is almost sacked. And then he is sacked. No, he's not yet. Oh, my goodness, Cam Kojal. He breaks 3 tackles, and then he passes it now deep, and it is caught. Oh, my goodness, Ross.
What a play by Cam Kojal. He broke away from 3 Westside defenders in the backfield and then rolled to the far side of the field and found a receiver down at the 1-yard line. What a play by Cam Kojal.
Gavin Nunley on the reception there, and wow. Cam Kojal broke away through 3 attempted sacks, and they were as close as you could get. They were on his jersey, and he just broke through him, and he rolled out to his right and threw an absolute seed to Gavin Noonley all the way to the 1-yard line, and that is where they will take place here. Just 1 yard away from taking the lead in this game. He'll hand it off to Nolan Feller, and he is stopped on the 1-yard line. Big time play there for the Westside defensive line as they stop him and maybe even push him back a yard.
Yeah, I think there was a loss on the play, and I think that defensive line for Westside is really frustrated and upset after they almost had Kozel sacked for a big loss, and they come up with about a 50-yard play.
2nd and 2 here for Cam Kozel. He gets a snap. He'll roll out to his right. He'll take it for himself. Not enough for a touchdown yet. He'll be most likely on the 1-yard line. Brings up 3rd and 1 now as Millard South is moving quick. Kozel under center heel. Quarterback keep for himself. Is he in for the touchdown? He is! Touchdown Millard South. Quarterback keep.
Well, that's a big drive for Millard South after Westside gave up a fumble, and they go 52 yards, and they take the lead with 5:42 left in this game, and now Westside has to come back here in the final minutes of the game, but what a drive by Millard South after that big turnover.
Simon McClanahan off for the PAT attempt. And it is a bad snap. Simon McClanahan tries to throw the ball. And it is batted down by Teddy Rizak. Bad snap by the long snapper. And Cam Kozel could not get the hold. And Simon McClanahan really just tried to throw it up there. And
that's a big play, though, because now it is only a 3-point lead. And Westside can move into field goal range and tie the game up or take the lead with a touchdown. But that is a huge play and a huge big mistake by Millard South on that snap, because they could have been up by 4 points, 35-31. Instead, it's 34-31, just a 3-point lead.
And Ross, I have to mention before we take a quick break here, that play from Cam Kozel where he almost got sacked 3 times. He broke away from 3 tackles, did a few moves, broke tackles, and then threw an absolute dart downfield all the way to 1-yard line to Gavin Nunley. That is really what happened and really started that drive right there.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see what Westside does on this drive. This is probably one of the most critical drives of the season for Westside. You got to remember what happened in North Platte. They only had 19 seconds left, and they almost won the game, went all the way down to the 5-yard line in the final seconds. But now they find themselves behind by 3 points with 5:42 left.
The kick from Simon McClanahan is all the way inside the end zone for a touchback, and Westside will take place on the 20-yard line. 5:42 remains here in the final quarter of the game. Westside is currently down, Ross, 31-34. We came into this game during the pregame show. You mentioned it was going to be a lot of points scored in this game. Millard South was not going to go out of this without a fight, and so far, with 5:42 remaining, they are currently leading.
Yeah, if you've been viewing this game tonight, you've seen a dandy. We thought it would be a high-scoring game. It has lived up to our expectations. It's been a duel of 2 of the best quarterbacks in the state, and Cam Kozel and Anthony Rizak, and now it's Anthony Rizak's turn to answer and see if he can drive the Warriors 80 yards downfield.
Rizak in the shotgun formation. He'll do a quick pass over to Jalen Lloyd. Screen pass. Jalen Lloyd breaks the tackle, and he is pushed out of bounds. Big time catch there from Jalen Lloyd, and that'll make it his 7th reception of the evening.
Yeah, his 7th reception, over 120 yards in receiving yards, and he's been just having a spectacular game for the Warriors tonight.
2nd and 2 here for the Warriors. They'll line up with 1 receiver to the far side, 2 to the near side. Kubrich in the backfield. Rizak hands it off to Kurt Kubrich. Kubrich will go up the middle, and he'll be brought down for the first down, and that will move the chains.
And that's a good person to give the ball to. Great ball security, Kurt Kubrich. Just a really great football player on offense and defense, and he can get the job done going up the middle.
Ross, that was Kubrich's only third touch of the evening so far. It's very rare to have him only with 3 carries on the night, especially in the fourth quarter. They've really relied on Anthony Rizak and John Ross tonight running the ball. Rizak drops back to pass. He'll try to find Jalen Lloyd once again, and he does. Layout play there for Jalen Lloyd, and it is good for a gain of 7.
And Lloyd has just really been one of the most reliable receivers for Westside tonight. He's picked up a lot of key plays in this game, key third downs, and another good reception there for him.
2nd and 4 here for Westside. Rizak gets a snap. He'll take it for himself up the middle, and he'll get brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It seemed like Rizak didn't know what he really wanted to do on that play. If he wanted to throw it, he rolled out to his left, and he was trying to find a receiver, and then he decided to take it for himself, and it did not work out in his favor.
Well, he only had about 4 yards to go for a first down. I think Anthony thought maybe he could pick up those 4 yards. But now, after losing a yard, it's 3rd down and 5, so this is another big play for the Warriors. You got to think it's a 2-play series right here if they don't get it on this.
Most likely would be the play of the night if they get this. 3rd and 5 here. Anthony Rizak will take it for himself. He'll throw it, and it's batted out of bounds. Number 14, DeLune Jones, breaks up the completion, and
there's a flag on the play.
We'll have to see what the officials call here. If it's a penalty on Millard South, that is a big-time plus for Westside. Rizak really just trying to find Jalen Lloyd tonight. Really his only target tonight. He's had 1 to Trevor Spady, 1 to Dawson Hardick, but all the other ones, and a few to his twin brother, Teddy Rizak, but a lot of them, the majority of them have gone to Jalen Lloyd.
So it's off any penalties. There was a legal procedure.
It was a roughing the passer call on the defense. And then a legal formation on the offense, so that offsets, and we'll redo 3rd and 5. The offense gets another shot here and hopefully getting a better play call on
well, that was
3rd down.
That was a big break for the Warriors right there. Otherwise, it was going to be 4th down and 5 to go. So the Warriors get another chance here.
3rd and 5 here for the Warriors. 1 receiver to the near side. Kubrich in the backfield along with Rizak, the quarterback. Rizak gets a snap. He'll drop back to pass. He finds Kirk Kubrich drops the ball.
And you don't see that very often from Kirk Kubrich. He's so reliable usually, but there just probably took his eyes off the ball a little bit. And this will bring up a big 4th down play here.
4th and 5 now for Westside as a drop pass from Kirk Kubrich will put Westside in not a spot they would like to be put in right now. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Play of the night here for Westside. If they can get this, it'll be huge. Timeout called by Coach Paul Amanji for Westside, and we will take a timeout as well here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, more Westside football action. Back here at Phelps Field, 4th and 5 for the Warriors. I'm Max Coughlin. Alongside me tonight is Ross Jernstrom. Ross, so many bad things have happened to Westside on this drive right here and a drive before. Jamez Ross fumble and then a Kruger's drop ball. Here it is, 4th and 5. Rizak draws back to pass. He'll try to find a receiver, and it is caught. It is caught. Trevor Spady, big time reception.
I'll tell you
what a play.
What a play, what a pass, and what a catch. I didn't think he had it, but they ruled it a catch, and it's a first down, and the Warriors have life.
Underthrown ball by Anthony Rizak. Trevor Spady says, I don't care, I'm going to get that ball, and he did. Rizak will take it for himself up the middle, and he'll get maybe a gain of 5 on the play.
Well, this is really tough here, and the clock is a situation right now. It's running down, almost 3 minutes left in this game. Westside has 2 timeouts remaining, but they got to get the ball in field goal range just to tie this game up.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Kurt Krubrich to the left of Anthony Rizak. Rizak in the shotgun formation. He gets the snap. He'll drop back to pass. He'll throw over to Trevor Spady. Excuse me, that was Teddy Rizak with the reception.
A big
and it'll
play
be good
there.
for a first down.
Yeah, boy, they have connected tonight, the 2 twin brothers. The Rizaks have really had a big night.
Another first down here for the Warriors as now they are on the 40-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side. Quick pass over to Christian Jones. And that'll be a gain of 5 for the Warriors as they are cruising downfield here late in the 4th quarter.
And you got to be cautious of a sack right now, because right now Westside is in field goal range, and you don't want to have a sack or any big loss because now they're in field goal range.
2nd and 4 here for the Warriors. Once again, 3 receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side. Rizak will take it for himself. He'll roll out to his right, and he'll just get sacked in the backfield. Big time mistake there for Anthony Rizak as a host of Millard South Patriots met him at the line of scrimmage.
He can't take another sack or loss right there. They've got to move the ball downfield maybe about 5 more yards.
Now it is 3rd and 5 here for Westside. And Ross, you have to think, if Westside doesn't convert this right here, they have to go to Tristan Alvano. Officials are blowing their whistles. It'll be a timeout for Millard South. Timeout Millard South late in the 4th quarter. 1 minute and 22 seconds remain here. And Ross, what does Westside have to do here on 3rd and 5?
Well, they got to throw the ball, and it looked like on that last play before they called timeout, they were going to Jalen Lloyd across the middle, and that's good. And like I said, you just don't want to get a sack, a penalty, or a loss because they are in field goal range right now, because we know that Tristan Alvano can kick a 53-yarder, and right now it'd be about 52. You want to get just a little more yardage so you can tie this game up and send it into overtime, because they really need to get that ball just a maybe 5 or 6 more yards downfield and give Tristan a chance. But they've got the best kicker in the state sitting on the sidelines waiting to come in. But this is a critical time for the Warriors right here with 1:22 left.
Alvano taking some practice kicks here off on the sideline. It is 3rd and 5 here for the Warriors as they are on the 35-yard line. 3 receivers to the far side, 2 receivers to the near side. Anthony Rizak all alone in the backfield. Rizak gets a snap. He'll take it for himself. Anthony Rizak will go in the middle. There goes Anthony Rizak. And he'll get tripped up inside the 10-yard line. And what a run there for the quarterback.
What a run by Anthony Rizak. He goes from the 35 all the way down to the 5-yard line, a 30-yard run by Anthony Rizak, and what a night he has had. Folks, if you weren't with us earlier in the game, he had an 89-yard run for a touchdown, and tonight he's had another one to set up what could be the winning touchdown. Only 5 yards to go to the end zone.
First and goal here is a bad snap. Anthony Rizak will take it to the left side, and he'll get brought down around the 6-yard line. 44 seconds and counting remain. We have to wonder, Ross, and there's the timeout called for Westside. And
good timeout right there. Kind of gather themselves after that kind of broken play. Lost the snap. It'll be second down from the 7-yard line. And you know, this situations like this remind me of the state championship game down at Memorial Stadium when Westside was down there inside the 10-yard line and they had a shot. And here's their season right here, which could determine, you know, the wild card standings with a win here tonight. But here they do. They sit at second down with 7 yards to go. And I'm thinking probably a quick pass, maybe to Lloyd, across the middle, you know, maybe to Teddy Rizak. He's had a big night, but you got to think this is what they've got to do to get in the end zone, and maybe a little quick pass.
36 seconds remain on the clock. Second and goal here for the Warriors. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Kurt Kubrich to the left of Anthony Rizak. The snap is off. Rizak drops back to pass. He'll try to find open receiver, and it is just through the hands. Just through the hands of Teddy Rizak, and that'll bring up third down now.
That was a good play into the corner of the end zone, just out of the reach of Teddy. And they'll try this again. Another pass into the end zone. That's what you got to try, because you got your field goal kicker all ready to go to come up. 1 timeout left for the Warriors.
Ross, you have to think, Anthony, we may see a quarterback keep here, as we've seen it so many times tonight. The snap is off. Rizak rolls out to his right, tries to find an open receiver, and he is tripped up. Westside looking for a flag, maybe a pass interference call, and it is not happening. That'll bring up 4th down.
And here comes Tristan Alvano to tie the game up here with 27 seconds left. And it couldn't go into the hands of anybody better than the top field goal kicker in the state. All-state first team from a year ago, and it'll be from the 23-yard field goal from the 13-yard line for Tristan Alvano to tie the game up.
27 seconds here. The snap and the kick. And it is good. Tristan Alvano, good here to tie this one up with 24 seconds in the 4th quarter. What a kick for Tristan Alvano, and he is perfect at that.
And what a game this has been. 24 seconds left, and Westside has tied this game up. They only led 17-14 at halftime, and now this game is really, we're headed to overtime unless something happens in the last 24 seconds. Millard South has 2 timeouts, but you got to expect Alvano to maybe kick it out of the end zone, and I assume that Millard South will just settle to go into overtime, and it'll be at the 10-yard line, and we'll see what they can do.
Alvano still pumped up after that one right there to tie this one up at 34 all. 24 seconds remain. What a game it's been so far here tonight, Ross. We've seen a mix of basically everything.
Well,
Millard South with 190 passing yards, Westside with 233 rushing yards, Westside 171, mainly led by Anthony Rizak, and Millard South at 123. And here's the kick. And Ross, you said it just moments ago. The kick is into the end zone and a touchback. And the Patriots will come out here with 24 seconds remaining in the fourth.
And I think they'll just put a knee down and we'll decide this game in overtime. And why try a costly pass or anything that might set up a field goal or anything like that? But with Cam Kozel at quarterback, you never know.
Kozel so far has led this Millard South team here tonight. And here comes the Patriots with 24 seconds remaining.
Nope, they're going to try something here with 24 seconds left.
Kozel will hand it off to Fuller. And he'll be brought down for a gain of around 4. And they might just let this one run out here. 13 seconds and counting. And that is what's going to happen. 3, 2, and 1, and that'll be the fourth quarter of action. We're all tied up, and Ross, we're going to overtime.
This will be fun. It's been a long time since I've seen an overtime game, and this one will be huge here between Westside and Millard South.
We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we will have overtime action. All right, folks, we are here for overtime action at Phelps Field. Both teams go out for a coin toss to see who gets the ball first. And Ross, I'll let you describe how overtime works here.
Well, the last time I remember, it's been a while since they had overtime that I covered one. It doesn't happen that very often, but they put the ball at the 10-yard line, and you have 4 downs to go. That's what I remember when the last time I saw an overtime game. But the coin flip is always important to see who goes first, and you always want to go second because you can determine whether, you kick a field goal or a touchdown. And it looks like Westside won the coin toss. They're talking to them. So Westside will be on defense to start the overtime.
What a game it has been so far. 34-34 here in overtime now. It started off with Millard South really just taking a big-time jump in the first quarter, 14-0, and then going into the second quarter, Westside exploded to go into the half, 17-14, and then this second half has been all over the place with Westside and Millard South scoring a lot of points here. And now we are here at overtime, where Millard South will start with the ball.
And it looks like they're going to go down to the south end zone to do the overtime.
And Ross, Westside will be on offense here first.
No, you're right. And the ball will be placed right on the 10-yard line. They'll have 4 downs to get it into the end zone or kick a field goal.
It'll be first and goal here for Westside. 3 receivers on the far side. And here's Anthony Rizak. He'll run to his left. Rizak will get tackled down around the 6 or 7 yard line.
That's a nice first play for Westside. The one thing you don't want to do is turn the ball over, because then the other team could just kick a field goal to win it.
Another big thing here in overtime is whoever goes first, you have to score a touchdown basically, because if you're second, you determine if you win the ball game or not. It'll be now second and down here. Rizak, quick pass. No, he does not pass over to Jalen Lloyd.
Oh, smart
and
play,
Rizak
though.
will throw the ball away.
Yeah, you don't want to take a loss like that. Very smart play by Rizak just to get rid of the ball. Nobody was open on that play. I don't know who he was looking for, but there wasn't anybody open, but this is now a big play.
He originally intended for Jalen Lloyd, but decided not to throw the screen pass over to him, and then he had to make the quick decision on just throwing the ball away, which was probably the best decision of the night. Third down now here for Anthony Rizak. 1 receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side. Kurt Kubrich in the backfield along with him. Rizak drops back to pass. He'll throw it in the corner of the end zone, and it is gone! It is gone! Touchdown, Westside!
What a catch by Westside in the corner of the end zone. They ran the flag pattern to the corner of the end zone. A perfect pass, and that was huge on third down.
What a play there for Westside, and now they're up 40-34 pending the PAT from Tristan Alvano. And there'll be a flag on the play, most likely a false start on offense.
Trevor Spady was the one who caught that ball in the end zone. He's had a big night, big plays.
What a play for Westside. Rizak all the way to the corner of the end zone to Trevor Spady. And pending the PAT here from Tristan Alvano. The snap and the kick. And it is good.
And that was huge to score on the first possession. And it's always tough if you don't score in that first possession, you're in trouble. But Westside takes the lead 41-34, and now it'll be Millard South's turn from the 10-yard line.
What a play there for Westside. And we got it, Ross, I have to mention that play before that touchdown. Anthony Rizak did a great job. He didn't find anybody open, so
yeah.
He ran backwards, and there was 2 Millard South defenders coming at him at full force, and he had to make the very quick decision on just throwing the ball away, and that was probably the best decision of the night for him so far, and it led to a touchdown for the Warriors. And here we are, Cam Coughlin, the Millard South offense, out here for their opportunity here. Coughlin rolls out to his right, tries to find a receiver, and it is not caught.
And Millard South has to score a touchdown here in overtime to force a second overtime.
What a play. It was broken up by Nick Anglem, the linebacker. It is now a second down here for Millard South. There will be 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Nolan Feller in the backfield along with quarterback Cam Coughlin. The snap. Coughlin, he'll dance around to his right, tries to find an open receiver. And it is picked off! It is picked off by Teddy Rezac! That's Ty Kiefer, excuse me. Ty Kiefer with the pick, and that is the game.
What a finish for Westside. They win it 41-34 in overtime over Millard South. They kick a field goal in the final minute to tie the game up, to send it to overtime, and then they get the touchdown in OT to win it 41-34. Max, what a game.
That was Ty Kiefer, the safety, who had the interception, not Teddy Rezac, but what a game for Westside. Oh my goodness, Ross. 41-34 is our final here tonight, all the way into overtime. It started with a Anthony Rezac to Trevor Spady touchdown, and it ended with a pick by the senior Ty Kiefer.
Well, we've got a tough decision to make for our Time 42 player of the game, and we've had a lot of big plays tonight.
We are going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we will have a post-game report from Ryan Kelly and a Time 42 player of the game interview with me. We will take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. When we come back, we will have post-game coverage.
Good evening here, folks. I'm Ryan Kelly, your sideline analysis here tonight. We just saw a wild game, 41-34, an overtime win for the Warriors. It's been quite the game for both teams here. You know, we saw it just was going back and forth, back and forth. Let's kind of start it back from the first half. Millard South opened this one up with their 2 touchdowns. Westside retaliated, tying it back up, and then Tristan Alvano pulled ahead there and then made it to make it 17-14 going into half. And then Camden Kozel with a 38-yard rushing touchdown for the Patriots, pulled ahead there. And then Anthony Rezac retaliated with another 12-yard rushing touchdown. He's been on fire tonight for rushing touchdowns. And then Camden Kozel, once again, a 23-yard passing touchdown back to Jalen Lloyd. He had a 15-yard passing touchdown. Camden Kozel had another 1-yard rushing touchdown. And Trevor Spady, the pass in overtime, a 5-yard pass to pull the Warriors up ahead in overtime. That was just an insane play there. Everybody rose to their feet. It was just quite the sight to see. And then when the Patriots got the ball there in overtime, Ty Kiefer picked off the ball to win the game here, 41. So yeah, so we're gonna take a look at one of our replay clips. We have one replay. It's a new thing we're trying to start here tonight on WTV Live. It's the 89-yard Anthony Rizak QB scramble and rush. Let's take a look at that here. And there he goes. And then he's gonna break free there. He's gonna go all the way to the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. And then in there for the touchdown. We're going to come back here now with another one of our shots here. Let's go back live to what we see on the field right now. So yeah, that was really quite the play there from Anthony Rizak. The Warriors really pulled ahead there. Sadly, we do not have any second half stats from this Warrior team in Millard South game. But that will be kind of all for tonight's post-game report, So we'll be back here. Max Coughlin will have our 2-time 42 players of the game. We'll have that available to you guys here shortly after this short break.
I am here with both Time 42 players of the game. Ty, I'll start with you. You just had probably one of the best plays of the year so far, interception in overtime. It was started by Anthony Rizak and Trevor Spady, and then you closed that off with a big-time pick in the final. It was third down, so not the final, but it closed out the game.
Yep. It was, it felt great. Offense stepped up first. I love those guys. I trust them with all my heart. And then knew we had to get a stop, so had to make a play, and you live for moments like this.
So Ty, you've had, I would call this your bounce back year right now. You've been injured for most of your high school career. How does it feel to be back on the field, fully healthy, and really just helping this entire defense out this year?
It feels great. Just to be back. No matter the wins or losses, it's just good to be back out here and playing the game I love.
All right, Jalen, you led the offense today. You and Anthony had a game. It seemed like you were his favorite target today. You had 128 yards on 8 receptions and a receiving touchdown. How was it for you tonight, and especially on a big-time win, 41-34?
It felt great. We seen a matchup that we knew we could take advantage of, and they wasn't going away from it, so we just kept going at them all game until they adjusted to it. They never adjusted to it, so it just kept working all game.
So final regular season game next week. You guys go out to Lincoln Northeast. They are currently last in the wild card points. What do you guys have to do to handle business and then go into the playoffs at a big time high seed?
We just need to focus on ourselves. We gotta fix a few things, little things, and just play our game.
On the offense side, what do you guys have to do?
I think we should just stay focused, don't underestimate our opponent, and just play hard.
All right, I am Max Coughlin here with both Time 42 players of the game, Ty Kiefer and Jalen Lloyd. Alongside me here tonight, Ross Jernstrom and the entire WTV Live crew. Thank you for joining us here tonight on a Thursday Night Lights battle that went all the way into overtime with a Westside win. Have a great night and drive home safely if you are here.